And we're live.
Hi.
All right, hello, and this is the Ninja Z joining for not a react, but a discussion of everyone's top 5 MLP episodes for Gen 4. Because we have the anniversary coming up for how many episodes? What? How many
15 years.
15 years.
Years.
Years. Oh my God. Wow.
Said it's just 2 words, but when lived, it seems long enough to form a whole giant friend group, of marriage for life, and a lot more than that for all of us, I'm sure.
Not the marriage part for me. Like, seriously, you the one who got lucky with that.
You know what? Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, the show's over, so I'm assuming you all are going to meet your, significant others for life through something else. But for Daylover and me, it was technically My Little Pony.
That is true. That is true.
And I met mine because of a shipper.
The moral of the story is shipping is magic.
Exactly. Let's go, Diana. Let's go, Diana. Let's go, Diana.
You're on the cannon ground. I'm up in crack ship space. Let's start a shipping war. I don't care if I get hate. If you don't agree, then you can hit the bricks. This is my OTP. I'll go down with this ship. I don't care. I ship it.
I ship it.
I was gonna say, like, on top of like bringing people together, is like this row is like, besides Wolfgang, which joined us through Hell of a Boss and Asma Hotel, all of us were brought together by the MLP, and we're still together from that.
I actually met second from the Rift Cafe because I applied for becoming a member, and then after that I saw Gator in the Rift Cafe server and said hi a couple times.
Yep, and the Rift Cafe is formed because of MLP, so yeah, unfortunately Wolfgang is not the exception. There isn't one.
I am not the exception.
He is not the exception.
The Rift Cafe.
Well, I guess you could say the second half of it was Hell of a Boss. That's why she started reacting with us.
Yeah.
Yep. First was the Rift Cafe, and then was Hell of a Boss. So I'm half and half.
Fair.
I love the Rift Cafe.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right, just to go over the list. Well, actually, let's start with the introduction. I guess everyone, starting with through random Google Meets order. Carlos.
Yeah.
Hello there. This is the Gunmetal Gator here, ready and willing to welcome you all to a new era in which Pokemon is no longer the best franchise for monster capturing. Welcome to the Digimon era!
Oh my God, it's a coup d'etat! It's a Digimon coup d'etat!
It's a Digimon coup d'etat!
Actually does remind me of the meme that's going on. It actually reminds me of a meme that was going on recently where it's like, have you ever seen like the meme of like, let's see, it's Evil Mind. What's that one that picks DreamWorks movie?
Megamind.
Megamind. Yeah, Megamind, where it's like he did it. It was like for Sonic Racers, which is like through IGN and some other reviewers got higher review scores than Mario Kart, the recent one.
Oh yeah.
It was like it did it. They did it.
Sonic World fucking crushed them. I don't care what anybody else says. You have Miku and Sonic in the same room. Like
Vocaloid,
exactly. Like Vocaloid, Sonic, and MLP are like my 3 like full-on core interests. Having all 3 of them, having like at least 2 out of 3 of my top core interests in the same game. This is insane.
What kind of multiverse are we living in, man?
It's Miku and Sonic. It's Miku and Sonic. This is insane for me.
Okay, who ordered this combination?
Honestly, it feels like Nintendo's going down the way of Disney right now in terms of like it's losing favor with the fans.
And in the meantime, Sonic is crushing it with recruiting fucking Hatsune Miku the Vocaloid idol in a Sonic game.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god, I'm so
Unreal.
happy.
Unreal.
Okay.
Yeah. I could have lived with mediocrity from Disney for a while, but yeah, with flipping the
No, I do
Lilo and
have.
Stitch
No,
moral
honestly, I
to,
do have high hope. I do actually have high hopes for Zootopia too.
yeah, well, not there, but yeah, you got me there. But in the meantime, flipping the Lilo and Stitch moral to yes, let the mainland person who does not know anything about your island way of life separate you from your family. I'm like, okay, Disney,
Oh god,
now
I
you
heard
can
about
drop
that.
like a rock for
But it
all I
was-
care.
But
Yeah, I
they
actively
were like,
avoided
but
the
we'll
film
still,
once I
but
knew
we'll
that
still get,
ending.
but they were like, we'll still get points because she did the original voice in the original Superior animated version.
And you know,
And poor Jumba.
and you know what? Second, I completely agree with you as someone who half of my race is from an island. So I fully agree with you. I'm half Cuban.
I'm both of my half are from islands.
Yeah,
In that
but
case,
I'm
in that
also
case,
from
then me and
Ireland.
Dane are both agree. In that,
Okay.
Well,
in
no,
that
you're
case,
from
then
a
me and Dane are
peninsula.
both agree that this is a
Well,
terrible idea.
Here, here.
I don't know.
And oh man.
Down with the remake. Praise be to OG Lilo and Stitch.
Let's
And
Agreed.
also the
go.
animated series, and also the animated series for being a good Pokemon like.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I'll give you that, sure.
Mhm.
Why not?
But in terms of good news, like I was mentioning Zootopia earlier, news just came out for a new character, and that's going to be voiced by Robert Irwin, which is
Ooh.
Oh.
Steve Irwin's son.
Oh
Who's going to be
yeah.
voicing
I was
Koala.
gonna say.
He is
Koala.
so
Uh,
he is currently on Dancing with the Stars right now.
Yeah, and he's going to be voicing a koala named Robert Irwin.
Of course he's gonna be voicing a koala because it's Robert Irwin. Because he's Australian and koalas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Koala.
course it's gonna be Robert Irwin. It has to be.
I'm just wondering right now, even with the premise of Zootopia 2 being superior to the original movie, I just hope it actually is better. If not, then Bad Guys 2 is just going to win over Zootopia for the furries.
Again.
I'm just shocked that I was anyways it was like I'm just shocked he even got a Zootopia 2, a second Zootopia. I'm just shocked he even got it.
It's not the last movie that lends itself to more. I'm more surprised we're getting a Toy Story 5. Like,
Wow.
guys,
Well, I can,
I got a-
I supported you on
I can tell you
4.
why, and Mr. Crab voice.
Money.
Uh,
Money,
I-
money.
it's like less interesting the more we go into that
I feel
franchise.
like
Money.
Well,
have its
apparent-
own movie.
Money,
I mean,
money,
you know,
money.
like, yes, spin-offs, sure, maybe, but like AI is the subject here where I'm like, I mean, I'm all for a movie taking on AI, but I mean, Toy Story, like,
Plus, I mean, I have a strictly anti-AI stance, particularly because, you know, my dad is a proofreader and it's trying to steal my dad's fucking job.
Yep.
But I don't think this is the best way to explore something that's, you know,
Uh,
stealing my dad's job.
Yeah,
I mean,
and making like a lot of like as former graphic design major here, worrying for the future worrying for the future of like up and coming graphic designers or creatives, just worrying about
Yeah.
future creatives.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
like
we just have to live with it and work together with them.
exactly we
uh,
we have to
Oh,
hold the
no.
line. We also
Oh, no.
but also wanting to be so vigilant of those so-called of those who would actually use it and claim it as their own work.
Yeah, no, that.
yeah. As somebody said, if I built a robot that consumed a third of my neighborhood's power so it could go around stealing people's art, they would all Frankenstein's mob me, and correctly so.
okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, like honestly, right now, in terms of like AI stuff, like even though I brought up Digimon, the new series has the main character outright say, "I do not trust any new technologies or AI."
Let's
Like, flat
go.
out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Even though Digimon is literally about AIs, like we're still having that social commentary. It's like Digimon's going like
Uh,
that.
Digimon
I
is
guess we
killing
should
it.
go back to
I
the.
feel like AI. I feel like okay. I confess, even though I'm like about AI makes me think it's like shady and everything, but I confess something. I feel like if you're using it for like a reference, but ultimately the final work is yours. If you're only using it for like like a reference to like I don't know alignment or composition or something, or like colors or style ideas, like okay, that can be as a reference. But ultimately the final drawing, vectorization or color or digital coloring or whatever, the final, you ultimately still do the work to create your own piece. The AI was just a reference, but ultimately you still do the work, whether it be drawing, painting, or digital or such. So I feel like there was like an artist who actually did that for a piece in his house. He wanted to have a really weird looking like painting and such, so he actually put a prompt in AI to do it, and sure enough he got the prompt, but he ultimately painted it like with actual paint and such by himself.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Ooh.
But his reference was an AI thing, but ultimately he did the final work like all by himself with actual paint and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh. And I was like, oh, and I was like, you know what? I think that might be the way to really do it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can be good for generating like ideas and such. Of like, okay, that gives you something to work with, but don't just use it and claim it as your own and think that you're done.
As far as companies, going all in on that though. I don't want my AI to do my art so I have more time for my dishes. I want my AI to do my dishes so I
do have something like I don't want my AI to take over music. I don't want it to create in my music. I am still there. I'll be like, no. I'll be like, no, have the actual musician play and learn how to play themselves and do the mental work and physical work to create the songs themselves.
Yeah, I'm currently working on my own original album, and I've been really annoyed about the amount of misuse of AI music that I've been seeing like all over the place. When I'm just like out here trying to work on my own original album, I'm making entirely myself just with a couple producers.
Did anyone hear about this one art competition that apparently whoever won the prize, I think they got they got exposed for actually using AI, or they got accusations for AI.
Wow.
Oh, I think I heard about something similar in like a Pokemon card competition that there was controversy about that.
This was some sort of, I can't remember what it was, but what company it was. I just saw it mentioned on Instagram once. It was some sort of art competition, and there was a prompt, and whoever won, it had to be voted on by, I guess, viewers and whatever, and whoever got the most votes got like $2,000 or something. And apparently whoever won, I think the whole thing, they got like accusations that it's AI because like people were seeing like, look where the arm is positioned and such. I'm like, look where the leg is positioned, blah blah blah. So it's sometimes and nowadays the AI is so good, people can't tell the difference. Like, oh my gosh, actually today there is one of my drivers is going to be getting, get ready for this, he's going to be getting a munchkin kitten.
Oh,
he showed me, and the thing is, he's like, and he's going to be getting the kitten. He showed me a video of the kitten, and oh my god, I thought I was going to have a heart attack by how cute it was. It was standing on its hind legs and like begging with his paws. I was like, I literally thought I was going to have a heart attack. It was so darn cute. And
you got some pictures.
God. And he actually, and the funny thing is, he actually showed another driver and said, and the guy said, "That's AI," and that's AI. And I was like, what?
Okay, so far into the react, we've managed to introduce one person and establish that we're okay with anyone except the Toy Story gang punching AI.
Pretty much.
But yeah, this is like we'll go back to the thing though I will highly recommend if none of you have seen it, look up like the AI song version of the comments about the Disney Snow White live action film.
Oh wait, I think I've heard about that.
That is
Oh my god.
legendary.
What?
The comments for that film are so fucking brutal. I can't. I remember reading the comments on the comment section originally. They were so bad. I can't.
The quote, the quote of one of the comments, the only brave thing about this movie is Disney leaving the comments on.
Good job. Good job.
All right, but going back to the original purpose of this episode, this is going to be like celebrating the 15th anniversary of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. So we're going to be doing a top 5 of our favorite episodes list. But before that, oh shit, I forgot we still haven't even done the full introduction, have we?
Oh, we have.
We introduced Gunmetal Gator.
All right,
Okay.
all right. I guess going up is Second and Day.
Yeah.
Hi there, this is the second opinion from a critic first and a fan second. I'm saying that again in a My Little Pony review.
Oh god!
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming before all of you. I knew this was coming before all of you.
Hi.
Bet you didn't hear that coming, did you, viewers?
I knew this was coming before everyone.
Hi. Can't keep me out of this conversation. Hi. And Daylover.
And happy anniversary. Hope you guys go perfectly. Happy
Let's
anniversary.
go.
From Middle Turkey.
The greatest. Oh, honestly, the greatest. Everybody has their pairings. Everybody's has their pairings and their OTPs and everything. But you guys, you're the OP, the greatest OP.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
You guys are so sweet. You give everybody cavities.
All right, and then next up, Wolfgang.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Wolfgang, also known as Rosemary, also known as Strawberry Lola, also known as I Have Too Many Fucking Names. And today we have the 15th anniversary of My Little Pony, which is kind of interesting considering that I'm nearly 17. So, yeah, this anniversary has made me feel kind of old. I don't know why. Well, anyway.
Boy, I can bet you sound young.
Yeah, you would think to yourself young.
The kid of the group.
I finally know how to drive a motor vehicle, so that's good.
The moral is that pop culture makes everybody feel old. Lilo & Stitch, the original, is from 2002. I'm old enough for Toy Story 1 to have been the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
Game.
Yay. Help.
I've been having a severe obsession with Asteria and Katseki lately, but this is very, very usual for me. Also, I have a girlfriend now. Real Z or not real name, if you're watching this, I love you. Anyways.
And then next up, Jenn.
I am not first, yet I am last, but that's okay because we're talking about the past. Yeah, I am first and always Jenn, and that's the first time I've actually tried to make up a rhyme on the spot. So not too bad, I think.
Hey, you did better than Vanilla Ice did.
Let's go.
If there was a problem, yo, I solve it. Check out the hooks when my DJ revolves. You ain't that?
Yeah, apparently he said he wrote that in a half hour, and some of those lines you believe him. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Dude.
Well, you know what?
Harpoons flow.
Yeah.
I remember when that song came out, man. The kids in the club were all bumping. I had more years. I had more years than not to brag, but I had more years than all of you. I think to ingest that song.
Fair enough.
Sometimes sounds like I also have all.
All right. With that said, before we start the countdown of going through everyone's top 5 favorites, we'll just start with some things that didn't make the honorable mention because going by the rules of this thing, it must be an episode in the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, no special of the movies. Two-parters are just one episode just for convenience, and also just a top 5 list. So if you want to pick one of those, it would basically take up almost half the list. Yeah, I guess with that said, and let's quickly go over any things that couldn't make the top 5 lists and honorable mentions of some kind.
All right. Like how many can we say?
We'll try to make this rather short, so let's try to do 2 or 3 or something like that.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to go through like top 5 lists for 6 different people.
Yes, so we have to keep our, I guess so myself included, we must keep our tangents to a minimum.
Also,
Right.
I saw Chris.
In theory.
I saw second novel over here, so prepare.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna have to start things out. All right. As like the more short form reviewer here.
The more short form reviewer here.
Because trust me.
Sure.
I don't have many acolytes for like reviewing multiple episodes in my channel, but I still have those credentials. I still did my part for this community.
Okay, so we're all going around for honorable mentions first, yes?
Yeah, for the honorable mentions. First,
Okay. Let us start.
sorry. Oh, you want to go first? Go for it.
No, I was saying let us start. Derek had already decided the order.
Okay.
So
All right. So for me, first episode is from the chopping block is season 2, episode 20. It's About Time, aka the second ever Twilight focus episode of post season 2.
Yeah.
Post the lesson 0 mark, in which Twilight discovers an alternative future self that's basically warning her to do something, but then is traveled back in time. So she starts getting anxious about stuff, and as soon as she didn't get much clues about it, she worries herself up into a tizzy in order to basically do an espionage mission of getting inside of the Canterlot archives in order to basically
dun, dun, dun.
in order to locate the issue going on, only to realize she created a bootstraps time loop. That all that worrying came from nothing, essentially.
Mhm.
So, very important to learn this lesson. Whatever you might think might be worse, just let things go as it may be. Your highest strung energy, you could use it for actual problems, not to make problems in your head.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Then on number 2 for like the honorable mentions goes to season 5 for Rudderhoo Social.
Is that the
I love that one.
Big Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Big Mac and Apple Bloom focus episode.
Oh, that's the one that's another one that sent a lot of people in a tizzy.
Big Mac and drag, let's go.
Yeah. Yes, which I would consider this episode to be a very interesting take of like how to step up your side character from like being a 1-bit pony to essentially becoming a sort of secondary character now. With like this episode being the first major focus episode for Big Mac. In that sense. And I really did appreciate it for like how he went out of his way in order to try to like reconnect with like his little sister, even though like she wasn't able to attend like the news Sisterhood social really with like Applejack. So by doing this, and it just felt really close to the chest of like having a big brother who's willing to do anything, not even caring about any public shaming or whatnot, in order to like just help out their little one, just be able to like have fun and whatnot. It's like the true giving nature of someone who's an older sibling. And I really feel like even though I'm a younger sibling, I still really find that quite touching and whatnot.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And last, oh sorry,
reminds me of my sort of like honorary older brother of Icy Purple, who, yeah, she would definitely do something like that for me.
All right. And then last but not least is a season 7 episode 20, A Health of Information.
Okay.
Anyone remember what happens in this episode?
Oh yeah, Fluttershy comes down with a disease, but will not let Twilight help her because then the episode would be over. I mean, then Fluttershy would not be taking responsibility.
and all because of like the start for the episode is that Sakura gets infected with this tree transforming disease, in which it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of these trees are able to germinate so effectively. All those tree leaves and whatnot might have been actual dead ponies. The mortality rate of those things is insane.
Pretty intense.
Dark.
And this is also a feature episode of one of the legends of Equestria, Meadowbrook, and how her as like an earth pony medicine maker, she was able to like produce like cure-alls and ailments in order to deal with like issues around the swamp area. And even though Twilight was trying to impart a lesson in this episode, Fluttershy, despite her not being sassy in this episode, shows an incredible strength of character, and when she was willing to do anything and everything for Sakura.
Yeah.
A big shift of like how we first started out meeting the zebra back in season 1, Bridal Gossip. Like, this is like a pony worth helping out other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is why I consider it to be one of my most favorite Fluttershy episodes, just because of like that strong sense of like responsibility she has.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Should we stick to the same order as before?
Oh no, just sort of random for now. Then we'll start to go in more of a circle.
I'm fine with whatever.
Circle.
Okay, I can go as well. All right. First off, when you're doing a top 10 with a series that has over 220 episodes and a fandom because it's considered above average in general, you don't have a top 10. You have 10 first place episodes that clearly belong at the top and would represent the series so beautifully well if they were, if not for the fact that the other 9 exist. So when I heard we were going top 5, I was a little worried that, like, geez, am I even going to be able to portray much variety here? Are they all going to blend together as just like big event episodes? And looking at my list, no, not so much. I'm actually pretty happy with, my top 5 covers. But all the same, glad I get to talk about a couple of honorable mentions. Yeah, so much S-tier stuff in this series. Number 1, Sonic Rainbow.
Yeah, the classic season.
The classic.
Yeah,
that's your honorable mention?
Yeah, that's my first honorable mention here, which, Rainbow Dash is my favorite character because, unfortunately, like, I think this is the only over-competitive character I've seen nail how it feels to be over-competitive, where, when you struggle with it when you're young, where getting people, you don't like getting people mad at you, but it feels marginally better than admitting defeat does. Like, so many nuances to her that I think were really well done at her best. And I guess other episodes flowed better, but let's face it, Sonic Rainboom is the Rainbow Dash episode. It builds to its peak so well that the split-second shot of her blinking back a tear actually isn't overkill. Next, Luna Eclipse, the big season 2
Luna Eclipse
introduction to Princess Luna and all her great character showcasing. Specifically in this case, this might be my favorite pure character showcase episode because it kind of hits the nail on the head, I think, exploring someone who has a loud, proud personality and sensitive, even people-pleasing kind of inner self. And so it does it so well, it even gets it away with that corny ass, what is this fun of what you speak? Like,
love it.
TV ever did it. But every moment. Makes me love this character right up to where she has a sensitive little pony in her arms who is absolutely at her limit and cannot possibly take any more, and screams at the top of her lungs, "Why, thank me, dear Fluttershy!" Boy, Fluttershy's face at that moment. Number 6, the one that was a huge split decision on whether it was an honorable mention or it was going to be number 5. The OG, Friendship is Magic, still the best every character episode, still the best full cast showcase on all of them working together and playing off each other and showing their strengths and best sides. And curiously, a couple of them, like Rainbow, for instance, would actually, I think, play their cards, the best cards later. But yeah, I love Applejack's moment of reassurance, love pretty much everything Fluttershy does, but most of all, Twilight as the pony who does not want friendship here. They refreshingly nail what I think even later episodes of this series would start to make kind of corny, than by not making her Oscar the Grouch, but rather a simple introvert who's not even unable to talk to others, but just got into the image of herself as someone who stays in and studies. And what are you going to do? Just not? I mean, by definition, I'm not good at that, right? And like doesn't know what to say or do when she starts getting into this more than she has the words for. That is kind of touching in its own way.
Yeah.
And I think it's seriously underrated for that. But that's my honorable mentions.
Yes.
Like,
All right.
who wants to go next?
Me.
Oh, Daylover.
Daylover.
Yeah, get my list up here. Oh, okay. So how are we doing this? What? Oh, Twilight's Kingdom. Yes!
Princess Twilight. We're putting this one in honorable mention.
Yes.
Princess Twilight Spark.
I know. My list might not have that much variety and stuff, but I don't care. It's amazing. The best fight ever. The most intense thing, I think, with Discord and stuff like that. I know that he has other things, but I really do think that this was one of the things where I was like, oh, I really feel for Discord. I really feel for what they're going through. This is just amazing, and just that amazing fight scene just takes the cake, and that's really good. And then we have number 7. We have The Last Laugh.
Cheese Sandwich Part 2.
Let's love.
Yes.
Oh,
The season 9 episode being featured here.
Mhm.
Yes, really.
Season 9 represented.
Let's go.
I'm blanking a little bit, but also this was really sad but funny at the same time, with the factory and all of the good stuff, and Pinky learning her lesson. But I was like, why do I have this at number 7? Why don't I have the other cheese episode there? But that's way down on the list, so I guess
Daylover changes her mind about her lists at points, but this was the one she made at the time when we decided to sit down and make our top 50 episodes, and I'm assuming it's because you got into shipping Cheese and Pinky in this one.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
the most
that
powerful
makes sense.
material came
Wow,
from this.
everyone.
No,
Didn't
everything
everyone
makes
do
sense.
that after?
Thank you, cheese sandwich.
Okay.
Oh my God, yes. And that ship sailed. And that ship actually was built
ship
and it sailed and it
Yes.
sailed. They have a kid.
And as our number 8, Pinky Apple Pie.
Hooray.
Apple pie.
Apples to together. We're family, but so much more. Whatever will come, we will face the weather. We're apples to the core.
But just to like finding out about family and how to be connected to your family, even though that you might not, like your family, or like you're not like really a part of it, or like I just think it's really beautiful episode with the whole pears and apples coming together and stuff. So yay!
Here.
Who's next?
Ooh, I can go next.
Yes,
Alrighty then.
All right, so the first one on my list, I have 3. So the first one is Best Night Ever, which honestly, let me be brutally honest here. Back in I think it was 2019, I actually thought of designing my own dresses, because I've always liked fashion design. I thought of designing my own dresses because of watching Best Night Ever on a flight back from Switzerland. Literally. And I honestly really love the moral of this episode in general, as it shows that even if you have all the cards in your favor, things could still go terribly wrong, but you can just try to find joy and excitement even out of bad situations. So even if things fully do not go up to your expectations and everything is a fucking disaster, you can still get some fun out of it, and you can still have a good time even in bad situations. And life isn't always going to lead up to your expectations. Things are gonna happen to go wrong, and what you thought might happen might not happen, and there's ways to deal with that can make things a lot more enjoyable.
Heck yeah, if we did my top 25 or so, that would be on there.
Whoa.
Actually, Best Night Never was actually on my
Best night ever. Oh, he knows that the In the Woods song is awesome and remixes it.
So I was saying, that was on my honorable mention list too.
Let's go.
Nice.
Next is Fake It Till You Make It, which let me get the elephant out of the room here. The fandom went fucking crazy with Goth Fluttershy. If you look up Goth Fluttershy anywhere, there's a billion pieces of fandom of Goth Fluttershy. So this is the only time I'm going to mention Goth Fluttershy, because while I love Goth Fluttershy, there's too much talk about Goth Fluttershy, and I've already said Goth Fluttershy way too many fucking times. So let's get on to the episode.
Goth Fluttershy.
What's the other two Fluttershys?
Hipster Fluttershy and chic Fluttershy, but basically I think that this episode reminds me a lot of what happens when I tried to end up helping my friends and end up getting too into it, because the whole thing is Rarity making Fluttershy asking her if she can help her look after, what was it? Oh, helping her look after the boutique. I forgot that shit even existed. It's only mentioned 4 episodes, maybe. So
that's valid.
In the boutique, Fluttershy keeps having to go through different personas and pretend to be different ponies in order to please the people at the shop. Now, this has been an actual issue that I had to overcome this year, with constantly shifting between different personas and different identities in order to please the people around me, which ended up making it so that Fluttershy later in the episode couldn't go back to her original self. And I find that interesting, because I had the exact plot of this episode in real life, where I was shifting through personas so much when talking to everyone that I forgot my base personality, and then needed my friends like Icy, for instance, to kind of snap me out of it and help me realize, oh yeah, that base personality is there. I don't have to use 15 different personas depending on who I'm talking to. So this episode really resonated with me a lot, as someone who basically had this exact episode in real life for maybe 2 years.
Wow.
Dang. I feel like my fake personas are far more downbeat.
Oh.
I'm actually a bit of a goof.
No. looking at second opinion. I'm like, yes.
All right. Jen, you ready?
Oh wait, hold
I'm
on.
ready.
I forgot. Hold on.
Your third
Fuck, I
honorable
forgot
mention.
there was one last one I forgot. Inspiration Manifestation, which I think
Ooh.
is an extremely good episode for Laura alone, as you know. This book was never mentioned after and before this episode. I don't care. I literally referenced this book in one of my lore videos for my Sona for the Rift Cafe. It's like it was one of the objects that Kryla even used to create the portals in the Rift Cafe in the first place before she got kicked out of her room. So like there's a reason I mentioned this book multiple times in my lore video. I think it's genuinely an interesting concept to have a pony who's like creative getting completely like shrouded in her creative vision and then believes that she has to change everything to match her creative vision, which funnily enough actually has a weird commentary on modern day aesthetics in a sense of like people getting like everything to match their aesthetic despite the people around them and like not having to aestheticize everything about your daily life because of like insert core name here. So funnily enough, it actually ended up sort of predicting the whole aesthetics thing later down the line. So it ended up giving a weird social commentary that it wasn't even planned to make. Plus, also, it's just an incredibly interesting episode, and actually an episode where Spike seems like an interesting character. And there's not a lot of good Spike episodes, so
I'd like to disagree on that.
Like,
I mean, the one
he's
time I'm
like
like, yeah, most of them did show up in the second half of the show. It's not every day I praise that half, but yeah.
I mean, him trying to swallow the book was fucking stupid, and the fact that he didn't try to get back the book was fucking stupid, but, you know, at least his speech at the end was kind of nice, but to be honest, the way that I rate it is, if it's better than Spike at your service, and its service, and it has some sort of slight redeeming quality for Spike, then I see it as a semi-good Spike episode. But if it is Spike at your service level, and he does not have any redeeming qualities, then you're probably watching Spike at your service.
Yeah.
So
anything's better than Spike at your service.
Those are my
Spike at your service is not even the bottom 5 anymore. Season 8 called.
Season 8
And I hung up.
Hold my beer.
Whatchamacallit with fake dad is not that bad. Fight me, bro. But in a different podcast.
All right. Next up, Jen, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes. Okay, I have 4 honorable mentions, and I'm gonna go. I have 4 honorable mentions. Okay, so this took some thought and everything, but here we go. My honorable mentions, all right, are Lesson 0 from season 2, Party of 1, season 1. For this reason, and I'm going to list those because of this one reason alone. They both kind of delved into mental health a little bit, because then you also could see like darker aspects of, well, first of all, Twilight's near insanity and anxiety about deadlines and everything, and you know the classic clock is ticking, clock is ticking. And my personal favorite, girls. I mean, you get to see kind of insanity in like Twilight going insane is so much fun. Was so fun in that. So for Lesson 0, also Party of 1, you get to see Pinky kind of delve into like that's the birth of kind of, I feel like the birth of like insane Pinkie Pie, because when you get to see about her breakdown when she thinks about literally like her friends don't like her parties and don't want to be her friends and everything, and such. So from season 1, and that is just you never think any of those characters could go to the mental lows that are depicted. Like, you never think the one who always has a plan, who's like really book smart, could never freak out, and you think the one who's always happy could never be sad, and you don't think you never think that any of them could slightly go insane.
Yeah,
but
they did.
Right,
Mhm.
but Lesson 0 and Party of One were like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that added some more complexity to what could have been easily one-dimensional characters, especially for Pinky. Even more so
Yeah.
for Twilight, but I'm giving Pinky a little bit of the edge here because of how she's first presented in the beginning as like, as like happy, bubbly.
You can spit
up.
punch in her face and she
Right.
doesn't take it personally or even get mad at you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like happy,
Yeah.
bubbly, and happy, bubbly, friendly, and everything. But you never think how. But you never think of how like of what other emotions that she has. And Party of One really kind of really put that into the consciousness. So yeah. So these Lesson 0, Party of One, because they added more dimension to Twilight and Pinky, and kind of started a discussion about mental health and such. Okay. Next up, so that's 1, 2. My third honorable mention from season 9, The Last Problem.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's my honorable mention because that's
We've
my
been
honorable
talking
mention.
about this one too.
That's my honorable mention. That's my honorable mention because of how one thing that was also that I thought was also fun that was brought up was this was when we were seeing just redemption after redemption after redemption, and honestly I was getting burnt out on all the redemption they were doing. So Last Problem was a culmination of like not everybody wants redemption, especially and also I still maintain as much as I can Cozy Glow, and also it's a main factor. Like of course you have Queen Chrysalis who openly turns away from redemption.
Wait, I thought that was ending at the end
Chrysalis.
where all the bad guys team up. I thought
Right.
Last Problem
No.
was the coda
Right, but
after
this is
that.
like a culmination. This is like a culmination of it. You have Chrysalis, who is already all three of them are like rebellious in their own way. But I guess to bring it on home with this, pretty much some villains are just gonna stay villains no matter what you want, no matter what. And also with Cozy Glow, villains can be unexpected too, especially villains can be unexpected because.
The innocent little girl ends up being a fucking
Right.
psychopath who has a
Freaking
penthouse
Darla
who's
Dimple.
Tirak.
The freaking Darla Dimple in pony form.
Yeah.
Darla Dimple in pony form, pretty much. And then hearing her, and I'll never forget hearing her explanation. I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, wait a minute, but she's a filly, and yet she's evil. I was like, what the hell? Like, wow, that was a shock and a half. But also Tirik, I'm like, that was typical. But Last Problem also, I loved it that I loved it it's honorable mention because it wrapped up everything. And it was like, okay, it finally put a cap on all the redemption that was going on. Okay. And then my last honorable mention, number 4, from season 4, Pinky Pride. And this one's easy because of these 3 words. Weird Al Yankovic. And thank you for coming. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's also why I have mine.
And those
Of the two, I do prefer Pinky Pride just because it goes way harder on the Weird Al-ness.
And Pinky Pride honorable mention because it's just so deserved because it's freaking Weird Al. It's Weird Al is in it. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's Weird Al's in it. And also that was the first time I'd ever seen like somebody that was like a real like celebrity in this show. And I'm like, oh. So and it was like my signal that I'm like, okay, we going places here. But definitely those are my honorable mentions. Lesson 0, Party of One, The Last Problem, and Pinky Pride. There you go.
All right, and I'm just going to go. Two of mine have already been mentioned, which is Lesson 0 and Best Night Ever. And then the third honorable mention I have, it would be easily within the top 3. However, it's disqualified. Is Rainbow Rocks would absolutely be within my top 3.
Oh, save
minute,
it! Wait,
Wait
save!
a
Wait,
minute.
save!
Wait a
I
minute.
didn't think I was allowed. I didn't think I was allowed to put Rainbow Rocks in my honorable mentions. But if I was if I would have known that, I would have put it in my honorable mentions because I did want to.
That's why I said like movies are excluded from the main list, not the
Oh,
honorable mentions.
main list.
Oh,
I
the main list.
I would have.
That's all you did there.
I would have put Rainbow. I definitely would have put Rainbow Rocks in my honorable mentions because like
It's already
literally my original pony Sona wasn't even a pony. My original pony Sona was a siren because of how chronically obsessed I am with this movie. I still have the entire soundtrack on like a USB that I have connected to my very old car, and I keep and like every like 2 months we find it on the memory stick, and then and we listen to the entire soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
I am extremely obsessed with this movie. I know everything about this movie. And I even had an idea to do a reference to the sirens on my current design of my humanized version of my pony Sona. I am clinically obsessed with this movie.
You have great taste. Love Rainbow Rocks. Absolutely love it.
It's literally the only movie or spin-off that would be considerable for this list. I'm just saying.
I'm
I
not
know,
considering
right?
any. I don't
I-
consider any of the movies for my list, but I thought Friendship Games was slightly better.
Oh, really?
I put honestly, I put in Rainbow Rocks and Friendship Games in my favorites. Though I'm gonna give Friendship. You know what? I can't put one over the other. They're equally like together in the same thing when it comes to like the movie proper, the Equestria Girls thing. Those Rainbow Rocks and Friendship Games, those two are the peaks for me.
Actually, for some reason, there was this one character from Friendship Games, like Sour Sweets, who I absolutely loved when I first watched
Oh, is she the one who's like really bad?
Sour Sweet.
Yeah, she's like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
she
did
was
a
like a
great
hypocrite.
job for a loser, or did all her lines or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like every single word that she says, every single time she says a sentence, the entire sentence is hypocritical, and I love it. I don't know why.
Except the one where she says you're really bad at this. She's like, I think that's the one where she's the only one. She's not,
only one she's straight up.
She's straight up right there.
There's also like Lemon Zest, who's like supposed to be the version of Rainbow Dash, who I also really love.
And I'll argue that Rainbow Rock's soundtrack is half bangers and half lukewarm thrillers, and a Friendship Games soundtrack, while it has fewer of them, is all bangers. Like maybe one I didn't like that much, but yeah.
All right. But with that said, we'll move on to the main list, which, because I was doing math while we were doing all this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to time limit this a lot because, we can't go past midnight too much. So I'm going to, when we go around the list, we're going to just I'm going to give everyone a 2-minute warning, and we're just going to quickly go through everyone's top 5, and we'll just circle around.
So are we gonna do all our 5 episodes?
We'll just do like everyone who's does like they'll do their 5, and the other person just mentions what their number 5 is, and then we'll just go around the circle.
Okay.
Take a little break and just sort of breather to sort of discuss and all that, and then we'll just move on down to 4.
Okay. All right. Got it.
And while we're going down this list, everyone, if you can, in the chat, just for our own reference, just like when you say whatever your number is, give the number and then like the episode there, and then put it in the chat.
Gotcha.
Which that's more just for internal reference for this. After this, everyone just post their top 5 in like the group. But just for the reference of this will be easier to go down. All right, I'm going to go. Does anyone want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Daylover first.
Okay.
Daylover.
Okay, I'm excited. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. My number. Are we going number 5 first?
Yeah.
Crusaders of the Lost Mark. how to find a purpose and finding out who you are and learning how to realize to grow up, I guess. I'm like, going through the motions like the episode, I guess. And I really like the Cutie Mark Crusaders. They're just like always so fun. But I do remember this episode more, always like wondered why Cutie Marks and why they were so obsessed and stuff like this. And this actually explains why. So yeah, that was interesting. Yes, and that's actually my 5. And then we have
No.
Just
number
5.
5.
Just number 5. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
carried away. Okay. Who's next?
And
Second.
I think second you can control her type. If you could mention Day's stuff too in the chat.
Oh.
Okay, right.
Whoever has the control of the
he has control over my list.
All right.
Yes. There we go.
All right.
Bam. Second.
Who's next?
I can go next.
Oh,
All right.
Wolfus.
Timer started.
My number 5 is Rarity Takes on Manhattan.
Ooh.
I actually absolutely love this episode. I love the song that Rarity sings when she realizes what she's done and with treating her friends badly after everything that they did for her. I really, really enjoy Coco Pamel as a character. Just in general, she's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad they did an episode with her later on. I think like Button something, her manager, she was actually a convincing villain, and it was a very interesting twist to just have her like halfway be like, oh, like friendly competition, and then last minute she just straight up steals Rarity's designs. I absolutely love big cities, and I still really look fondly from when I was in New York. I really, really miss going on like vacations to big cities. I also have like a lifelong obsession with hotels. So as soon as I saw they were making like hotel chic with the outfits, and not only do I love fashion design, but I'm extremely obsessed with hotels. So that was like perfect for me. So I love all the songs. I love the character arc that Rarity goes through, and I even see this episode, as stupid as it sounds, as a sort of like inspiration episode for the kind of stuff that I want to do as soon as I get this music thing worked out and I'm able to travel more.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat now.
All right, if you can, also remember type up your number in the chat.
Okay, Wolfgang number 5.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Okay.
Timer now.
All right. My number 5 from season 4, Twilight's Kingdom.
Yay!
My number 5, Twilight's Kingdom. Now I know I mentioned the last problem, and that was the ultimate, season finale for season. That was the show ender, pretty much. But I'm putting Twilight's Kingdom ahead of that because the action in that was just ramped up to 10.
It was so cool.
That was the first time I had ever seen like DBZ like style fighting and everything, and DBZ style fighting and everything, and I'll never forget when Twilight's blasting her laser at Kirik and everything, and then he's blasting his laser, and then it's like and then at that bomb and everything. It was like, oh my. So I now remember like all the memes were coming out. Yes, they were saying, you still think MLP is for girls? And I'm thinking like, and I wanted to look at if there were little girls. Well, first of all, I mean, we have the side effect was the bronies. I mean, but also
I'll have you know that I was a little girl watching that episode when it came out, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
And the thing is, and for all these little girls now that were watching this, and that were watching this and hopefully getting excited from it. I'm like, watch out, world. This is what girls are watching now. This is what girls are watching now. I'm like, oh, sure. You think, I mean, My Little Pony had come such a long way from like the old like tea parties and fashion of the 80s and such. And I'm like, okay, and now we've gotten to like shooting laser beams out your horn to kill off the demon that has blown up your house.
I was a little girl when watching that episode, and let me tell you, I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever. Like, as soon as it came out, I watched it, and I loved it.
That was a 2-minute warning.
Girls were watching it, and I was like, you gals are so lucky.
Something
so happy.
tells me this is not the last we're going to hear about it, too.
What?
All right. But there, 2-minute warning. Any other closing thoughts on the episode?
Okay, but yeah, a little bit. Okay, sorry, got a tangent there, but yeah, Twilight's Kingdom, both parts had a great build up, fantastic action in there, and I thought that is the superior season. That is the superior season ender. Even I'm putting that above the last problem. And okay, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk again. Yes.
All right. Anyone want to go next?
So what am I doing? Am I putting in the chat?
Oh, yeah, just in the chat, just spell like the number, then like your episode.
Okay, now I gotta find the chat. Where'd it go?
So who wants to go next?
I can if Gator's not ready.
No, I'm ready. I'm just basically letting myself be last because I have a golden choice for number 5.
Ooh, all right.
Help! I can't find the chat.
All right, yes. Second can go.
Okay, so all right, found my spot. Number 5, the last problem. Okay, yeah, splitting hairs there between this or the first episode and the last episode, right on edge with each other. How about that? But I get to talk about both here. So yeah, some episodes like K-Pot Demon Hunters, some stories are great for how well they build to their highlights, how well they knock it. They give you those moments that were clearly the money shot that knock it out of the park. Others, like Wall-E, my personal favorite animated movie, are great for how well they immerse you in the entire thing. Like, yeah, maybe you can pick out favorite parts that are when the emotions build to a high point here or there. But yeah, on the whole, it's just how well it delivers this, immersive thing that it is. And in this case, what it is, it's the latter, and it's how well it plays off the entire series to bring you a finale out of a lot of unfocused clutter, if I'm being honest, about the last few seasons, but one that feels, in the finale's case, manages to feel definitive. Like the writer on this one made the show his own, in this case, his own. And it digs into everything we've come across here. It takes stands on some stuff. It makes Twilight feel like she's doing exactly what she should. Not like the show trying to convince you that everything that happens to her feels like the most important thing ever, but just that she's right where she belongs, knowing what she has to bring to receptive characters and students, enjoying all the sweetness and goodwill she created with everyone who appreciated it. And when I say last problem, by the way, that's not last problem and ending of the end. I consider them 2 separate entities. Ending of the end might still make my top 25, but yeah, this makes my top 5. Like this, like I said in my build-up, this would be a perfectly good pick for first place on my card if the other 4 didn't exist. But yeah, everything it does just fits like so well. Fluttershy and Discord, Adult Spike, Rainbow and Applejack. Okay, that was kind of the safe but basic choice for shippers there.
I mean, Applejack and Rainbow Dash. I am as someone dating a girl myself. The fact that a lesbian ship got canonized, I am still so happy about that.
Okay, but yeah, I mean they're good together, but I mean, I don't know. Let's face it, we all would have jumped through the roof for Applejack and Rarity.
Yes, we would.
Oh my God,
well, they did it for Equestria, girl. That's
I
why
was
they
a
did
rare
it for
Jack.
District Girls.
I was a
All
rare
right.
Jack shipper since I was 9. Fun fact.
All right, time
The
warning.
cheese, the school, the closing song, everything feels bittersweet, but in the
Mhm.
most reassuring, celebratory, job well done way possible. This is my favorite episode in the whole back half of the show. I swear. It's
There you
just
go.
like, yeah, like I mean, some episodes are like, I guess, more beloved for their melodrama. This is the kind of drama, I guess, that just sits well with me, and that goes a lot farther in my
Yeah.
indulgence.
Fair.
All right,
Yeah.
I guess I'll do my thing next since Carlos wants to go last. All right, starting my timer. All right, my freaking sort of an odd choice. Well, I feel there's going to be a lot of odd choices here. Is my number 5 is Scaremaster.
Ooh, I like Scaremaster.
That's a good one.
Which
A
I
foe's
feel is
sequel
a
to
nice.
Everything
That's a
Else.
nice Nightmare Night episode, but also one that is, I feel, a very well balanced episode, good Fluttershy episode. The reason I pick a number 5 is because I feel is one of the best morals, sort of like in this show, because this one really stuck with me because a lot of shows do the whole green eggs and ham thing, where it's like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't want to try. Don't try. They try. It's like, oh, I do like this. It's my new thing. It's like, you like Krabby Patty, Squidward. That's like a very common show thing. However, I feel this is ignores a big fact. It's like you can try something and not like it, but that's not a bad thing. I feel that's what this episode does well. It really shows like Fluttershy decided to get out of her comfort box, tried something new because they're friends with it. I was good at it, but didn't like it. But she decided that this is them a thing, and they just were okay with that. And that's such a mature adult lesson that you don't really see much in media.
It is indeed.
Indeed. Mhm.
And then second, type up your thing in the chat too.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how long we'll keep that going up. This is more for court. But yeah, that was the main thing I want to say. And Carlos?
All right. For my 5th option, we usually like to discuss stuff about the 2-parters for Friendship is Magic a whole lot. And I feel like they're very weighty, but they could be very expressive as for the quality of a 2-parter if they could do multiple things at once in quick succession and does it as great as possible. For me, my selection would have to be a 2-parter that for once would have 3 songs spread out of varying different genres and putting them in very equal quality to each other. Then we also have the case of like having the issue of introducing a new aspect to a main character and introducing stuff about their past and whatnot, and how this retroactively like retcons parts of like what you assume this main character to be, but at the same time makes some other stuff make sense about them in the grand haul of things. Then you also have the challenge of surprising your fan base by introducing an entirely new species at the same time with all these elements together. And what does that give you? The season 2 finale, A Canterlot Wedding. Like, legitimately.
Let's go.
That will be showing up on my list.
It is legitimately.
There's going to be a lot of talking about this one.
As the half changeling myself, I approve.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, let's first talk about the queen bee of all bees, and it is Queen Chrysalis.
Queen
While she
Chrysalis.
While she wasn't introduced and named in this finale, she still had a show-stopping appearance, even though she barely had much things to say in her actual form. But as the changed form of like the Princess Miyamori Cadenza, she makes a wonderful villain of hiding her true self underneath the skies of a bridezilla, and that's just so delightfully twisted and wonderful.
Indeed.
So cool. It was so cool.
And then being able to manipulate the masses by basically showcasing a vulnerable side in front of her friends and family and just making everyone turn tail and then trapping her in the same way that she did to the original princess. That was the icing on the cake there.
So that
Oh.
way nobody can stop her plan.
Exactly.
And then also the fact that Shining Armor was introduced as Twilight's older brother recontextualized how Twilight fits into Canterlot society, as she is literally the sibling of the head of the National Guard, which explains
Yes.
why they're so wealthy.
Yep.
Twilight's parents.
Absolutely. That's how they're getting all that bank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shining armor, like military guy.
Johnny Armor
Yeah.
brings home the bands.
Yes, he does.
Then we get our first case of actual ponies duking it out in actual combat. I know a lot of
The
people like to
changeling
talk about.
blade.
I know, like a lot of people like to say, Twilight's Kingdom was the one that showcased. Oh, this show isn't for little girls. No, this show is basically a little girls. Basically showcasing how they can actually fight back against oppression. In this case, doppelgangers who want to change and make themselves look like your own friends and family in order to try to dissuade you from fighting, but having the courage to fight off against them, even against overwhelming odds. That fight at the second half was really great.
Absolutely. I love that.
It was so quirky, yeah.
Mhm.
Love that moment.
And then lastly but not least,
Pinky's confetti cannon. I love Pinky's confetti cannon. I
the
love that
song I
confetti
want to
cannon.
highlight, for my portion is Love is in Bloom. Not for like the song itself, but the remix
I
done
love
by
it.
BB Pony. And how I adored it so much, and Fuzox's rendition as well. Such artistic candy-colored noises for my headphones, loving mine at the time. I just love a sugary mix, and that's my confession for number 5.
Great
love
insight great insight in there. I never would have thought about the whole idea about, you know, your friends like camouflaging as something that could be symbolic, and what Chrysalis does as when she's in Cadence's form.
Yes.
Never would have thought of that. Great insight.
Well, that's my review of self.
Hey.
That brings it back around to Daylover, and guess what episode we're talking about?
Is this for number 5?
Number 4. Number 4.
Number 4.
Guess what, guys? It's Canterlot Wedding.
Yeah! Getting back to the head.
Let's go again.
I think this is going to be one of the main big ones here. Wow.
It might be number 2 on my list.
Guacamole. Okay, yes.
Just saying that now. This episode is going to be talked about a lot.
Yes.
I think so.
Oh gosh. What can I say that haven't been said already? Gators are good. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Oh yeah, no,
I
that's
do not
that's
love the
okay. Yes, I love the song. Yeah, that's true. And I also like really feel for like, of course, Cadence in this episode, but actually also for Chrysalis. And I know that that's kind of sort of wrong. But,
I mean, I kind of feel the same way with it.
Chrysalis is fighting for her family.
She wants, like, we all had that jealous friend that wanted everything that you had, or in my case, I did have one of those. So I'm like, yeah, sorry, but not sorry. I don't know.
I mean, I feel the same way about the episode.
Yeah. But I really love that. Of course, that when she comes back, she's just like, no, I'm like taking it all back. Nothing happened here.
Nothing happened here.
Blasting her to Kingdom Come. So that's fun. What more? Wait. You said something before that I wanted to say.
The songs.
No. I forgot. But yeah,
My Little Pony is for little girls, and little
Yes.
girls do love a good round of ass whooping.
yes. And, like,
Amen.
I have a lot of violent episodes, or not violent. I have like a lot of fighting episodes on my list.
Fair.
Yeah, this is also one of the ones, I guess. With when Cadence is trapped in the with the underneath with the crystals and like talks, and I was just like, oh, I'm actually really invested in like what were I thinking the first time I was watching it? I was like, okay, this episode is actually not afraid of going in a little bit more darker,
Yeah.
really, really serious, way, because I was like, am I sure that she's not like, why is it all of a sudden? I know that they're reversed, but I'm also like, what's up with that? But maybe that's just me. Yes, that's it.
All right, who wants to go number 4?
Ooh.
Would it be Wolf
Maybe.
King?
What?
I'll go. I'll go for number 4.
Jen.
Okay. All right. Number 4. My choice for number 4 from season 5, Slice of Life.
Oh,
Jen. We have the same in 4. We have the same 4.
First
this is
combo.
a twofer. This is a twofer now.
We both have the same 4.
Let's go. Yes. Well, Slice of Life. My reasoning for Slice of Life is basically because of the background characters. It's essentially because I love what this fandom has done, and this is like the first fandom that I've really in my memory of being in this world, but of actually giving love to the background characters as much as the main characters. So much so that we made our own fanon pairings and stories and memes and such about them. And I love it that the showrunners saw this, and rather than kind of detract from that, they embraced it. They actually embraced it, that we loved the background characters as much as the main ones. I bet there's some that even like him even more than the mains. But nothing wrong with that. But I love it that they all got their shine in that in this episode, and it was just a true, I believe, love letter to the fans from the showrunners. It's the ultimate thank you to the fans. So, yep, that's my number 4, Slice of Life.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And also the fact that my OTP Octavia, as I look at them perched on my bookcase, Octavia and DJ Pony got their feature too.
Octavia, DJ Pone 3.
And Vinyl Scratch or Pone 3 or Vinyl Scratch or whatever you want. That's my true pairing, and I'm like, they got featured, and I'll never forget losing my mind when Octavia talked. It's like. And then a crazy thing is like Vinyl not talking, but you're like not even mad.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
And to never forget how they just they ended it, and how they just like brought how they just the build up to the ending. And oh my gosh, it was the best. It was the best thing. I was like, this is so fan servicey. I am so here for it.
All right, Wolfgang, do you want to toss any other points into this episode?
All right, so I have the same number 4 slot of Slice of Life, and honestly, I have a very interesting perspective on it, because I basically grew up in the Brony fandom. Like, most of the content that I first watched on YouTube was from the Brony fandom. I looked up multiple fan art fan arts of the Brony fandom on Google Images on like an extremely old, bulky computer when I was like 5. I grew up. This fandom basically raised me. So, the fact was that I had that I knew every single fan theory. I knew every single tiny headcanon people had for every single character on the cast. So as soon as young me saw that all the stuff I was hearing from everyone online for nearly my entire life was getting canonized, yeah, that was the craziest, most amazing thing ever, especially Vinyl and Octavia, just like Jenn, because, like, I swear, the amount of times there's like a huge amount of Brony music that is just like a combination of cello, of cello and violins and dubstep. That has actually become like a subgenre for me of like something I genuinely love, because mixing those orchestra elements with dubstep is the coolest thing ever to me. And I also just love Lyra and Bonbon being canonized. Canonized, the ship being canon means a lot to me as someone who is trying to figure out who they were like identity wise while being in the fandom. That genuinely means a lot to me. I love Dr. Hooves and Derpy. I love the fact that they did a Doctor Who reference of having like Rose following around Dr. Hooves at the end of the episode. I am a wedding-aholic. The last confession I will give is that I was around when I was younger. I would host pony weddings with the other kids. With like the pony figures. So when I was younger, I would think of like different wedding scenarios, and I've been like a wedding planner since I was like 5. I have like a permanent wedding obsession. So because of that, having an episode basically confirming every single fan theory I had been hearing for nearly my entire life, and then to be hit with it being as well a wedding episode, truly remarkable for me. No notes. I love Slice of Life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I was actually like this. That didn't make my list, but I was like, this is like I knew this episode would make someone's list, sort of thing. All right, who wants to go next for number 4?
I wrote mine down.
I mean, it's just us guys for number 4 now.
I'll step up this time. Number 4, Cutie Mark Chronicles.
Oh.
All right, yes. Season
Ooh.
1, the big backstory of all the main 6. And simply put, I also think it's the best ensemble. It sinks its teeth into all of them. It knows by this point in the story, even, we've built up an investment of all of them, because a lot of its episodes introducing to them and their quirks were a lot of the best if not the best episodes, at least some of the best moments. And it plays off that investment with gusto and a ton of great little details.
Yeah.
I mean, can you decide who was the cutest and most lovable in this one? Like Applejack, hers was so precious and sincere, going halfway across the country to realize that all she wanted was home, and in such this cute little way. Pinkie Pie was so satisfyingly be yourself. They make sure to suck all the color out of the world that she's living in before they have her be the great little doofus she was when she was that age. Fluttershy's was so dead on and sweet about being an awkward little sweetie pie. Like the gangly, awkward way they make her look is so absolutely perfect for what so many of us were stuck looking like at that age. And surprisingly, not me. I don't know why I said so many of us, but yeah, little kid me was probably more smiley and bouncy and outgoing than older me. But that aside, and then the moment where she gets to be in her space and working with all the little critters on her terms, the way she likes it, so perfect. Twilight's moment was so adorable and so hard won. That was this is one of those times nobody likes to side with the main character, but Twilight might actually win cutest. Just she was adorable, plain and simple. And very, very much so. Rarities was hilarious. The narration versus her face in the flashback. Like, yes. And Rainbows was a pure fist bump tying it all together. Honestly, I miss showcases that were this excited to do with the personalities it understood this well. It was thoughtful, was deliberately sweet and encouraging about its moral that it arguably overmanaged the blah factor and arguably threw in one too many. Sweetness, but it still feels much more authentic than what we get from episodes that stopped remembering to funnel the pure sugar and mix it in. I would argue, this, on the other hand, this one feels like a genuinely nice moment that you would share with your friends at some point. And I think it's like all of their finest hour as an ensemble.
All right. That's about any other final thoughts for move on to another?
Nada. Go for it.
All right. But we'll say, that episode did juggle a bunch of different, like all the perspectives very well. All right. I guess I can go quickly unless Carlos, you want to?
You can go ahead.
All right. My one is since it was like, when I was doing Scaremaster, right? There's the other Nightmare Night episode, Luna Eclipsed. My number 4.
Luna Eclipse.
That was on my honorable mention, and good on ya. That episode would, like I said, it would make a fine first place if that's where we were. But 4th is good too.
But I feel like it was a good episode. 1, because it establishes Nightmare Night. 2 is like a very aesthetically good episode because of all that. But I feel the main reason it stands out is because this really defines Luna's personality for the rest of this series. And I would say it's arguably the best princess episode. I mean, for the non-Twilight princesses. Because it really delves into her character, gives her personality and sort of the quirks. It really defines. It just really helped reshape how we thought about Luna. And from she's there, to like a fan favorite princess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes. Yes.
Luna, my girl. Luna's my girl.
All right. And Carlos, what's your number 4?
All right, for number 4, this is a bit more of a thematic one, in which it's the end point of an arc that has been played through several episodes preceding it, but not in the most conventional way. It's a finale to an arc that sort of presents one of the main characters with an interesting dilemma of increased ego, only then to squander it at the moment of like needing to do something efficiently, and that's causing like crippling self-doubt and like devastation to their ego. Only then for the lesson of the episode to be somewhat of a, you're always gonna fuck up anytime, anywhere. But like if you can really get yourself to like stand on your own 2 feet and like look into the audience or look into like whatever's challenging you to like basically like confront it and basically still be able to like move on with your life, even with such fuck ups like behind your path, like for your history. And that is why I'm putting in the Equestria Games for my number 4 for a Spike episode.
A Spike episode. A Spike episode. Let's go.
Yes,
That was my favorite Spike episode when it came out. Yeah.
Yes, and the fact that it was a literal story arc of episodes that have nothing to do with each other, starting all the way back at season 3 with Just for Sidekicks, Games Ponies Play, then Flight to the Finish, and then finishing it off with this episode after we skip the unmentionable Rainbow Falls, which is literally one of the worst episodes in all of My Little Pony.
Boo. 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 But that aside, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it's like one of these cases of like a Spike episode in which Spike gets an ego boost because he is showcased by Princess Cadence, like, oh, he's the savior of the Crystal Empire, the one who granted us back the Crystal Heart and whatnot. Yeah.
That was an episode that Spike, I feel his character needed.
Mm.
He
Quietly one of
he needed
Cadence's
that
best
episode.
moments too. Like one of those great emphasis points on how Cadence isn't just nice, she's good at being nice. There's a difference.
And this is why Cadence is not really a bland character so much.
Oh yeah.
Like in those points of views. Like
Great.
she might be bland like on the surface, but there is some intriguing stuff that she does like in the background for certain stuff, which explains how she is a really good babysitter for Twilight.
Yeah.
Great.
Honestly, I thought she had a stronger and more unique personality than Shining Armor, who started out as Twilight, I'm a handsome jock, bro. And then they kind of tried to graft a geek onto him, and I don't know, it seemed like he was a collection of disconnected ideas.
I mean, there is a reason why Shining Armor wasn't in the Dungeons and Discord episode.
And on that note, Andrew Francis. Next.
All right. I guess with that said, I think that's everyone. So we can move on to the thirds.
All right. Day, you want to keep your tradition of going first?
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's perfect pair. Yay.
Perfect pair.
Oh,
Love
Perfect
you,
pair.
Debbie.
I love perfect pair.
Yay.
Perfect pair.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
yay.
Another episode is expecting someone to show it, pick at some
Yeah.
point.
So I just loved the heck out of this episode. Like so beautiful and amazing. And I know it's based on Romeo and Juliet, but I think like this is just a happier version. And I love the tree in the end. I love the symbolism of it all. I love that they're coming together. I don't like the pair that's against everything, but like so it's a really good thing that they're doing this, because a lot of families sadly are cutting people off when they get married, or they find somebody that they want to spend all the time with, and it's really, really sad. But I this is just one of the episodes that's just like, oh, it's hitting me right there. I know I like not that I know what they're going through, but me and Second been apart for so long. So when it finally happened, I was just like, yes. But I really enjoyed that grandma's taking them in, and she's just accepting everything. I just love that so much as well. Oh, and it's so sweet the way that he is it the way that he proposes with the song, or how's that? I don't.
She sings the
Oh,
song
she sings the
and
song.
proposes, and then he shows her that he was about to propose in a way.
Yeah, that's
but
so
it's too
cute.
bad it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, you really got me on our proposal day as well, because like I thought that he was planning a birthday surprise, going out on the cruise and going around, and
not least because I told you that's what it was. That it was your birthday present.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, you're low on one knee and everything, and our video, it looks like it was staged. It's not. Like, I'm generally surprised, which I think like.
Good job, Second.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of that moment.
Which I think Big Mac was too in this situation.
Right, Mac?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because that was just crazy. Oh yeah, I forget that they're having other Apple names. Forgive me, I'm a little tired.
No worries. Me too.
Oh, love this episode next.
I would say it's arguably
Great.
I would say it was great. Perfect Pair is
Love
arguably the best like Apple Family episode. So I was
Oh
waiting
yeah,
for
and
someone
it
to put
made
it.
everybody cry except second.
So overrated. I would have to go all the way to my top 30 to include it out of 222 episodes.
222 episodes.
Oh gosh,
It only made my top 30.
gosh, I forgot how many episodes. On a happier note, though, me setting up this episode, I actually seen the first 3 season DVDs were on sale on Amazon, so I got them for like $30 for the first 3 seasons. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
finally got that, and it's like, tempted to get the full set, but apparently the DVDs only go to season 7. Like, anyway, who wants to go to episode? Their third
Ooh.
episode.
I can maybe go.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3 on my list is Green Isn't Your Color.
Early season.
No.
Like them rarity episodes, huh?
Now, this one might be an interesting pick, but it's one that I actually relate to a lot. Not only do you have, the obvious thing of me randomly using with my friends, cross my heart, hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. I not only used that multiple times when I was a kid, but I still use it with some of my friends. But also to get to the actual plot of the episode, I do have a confession to make. As someone who is really only just finally getting her life together after planning it since January, I have had a habit of being jealous of people succeeding and then not enjoying when they succeed when I'm standing right there and want to have what they have. Like with content creators per se going on like long rants about why they hate their careers and why what they do is so difficult, and then like I'm just standing there right there and I've been planning my debut album for like months, and I'm just like, I could only dream to have that amount of fame. So I kind of felt like Rarity in that episode a lot of like Rarity sort of seeing Fluttershy getting like everything she ever wanted, but then Fluttershy just doesn't want it. That's how I felt that exact way so many times of seeing other people achieving the exact dream that I'm trying to go for and like constantly nitpicking every single tiny problem with it, and me just standing there like, if you don't want it, then I'm just saying I've been trying for this for like months. So I do need to admit that I unfortunately do relate to this episode from that fact alone. But I think it was just so well executed about how Fluttershy and Rarity were finally able to like come together and be honest with each other of, hey, I was really only doing this to make you happy, which there's a lot of times that I've succeeded in things that I don't want to succeed in, and I keep doing them just because I want to make my friends happy. I've had a very similar conversation to the one that Rarity and Fluttershy had multiple times, where it's just like, I know I was succeeding in this, and I wasn't enjoying succeeding in this, and I only continue doing it because I wanted to make you happy. So I not only relate to this episode on a personal level, but I just think it's a well-written episode. And also, side note, I started working on my Spanish more because I'm half Cuban, so it's basically my mom says it's basically a sin for me to not learn Spanish. So because of that, I watched this episode like 3 times in Spanish to help with my Spanish skills like a year ago. So I have this entire episode memorized in Spanish.
No.
All right.
So that's my number 3.
All right.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. Okay, so this is this is number 3, right?
Yep.
All right. Number 3 from season 2, A Candlelight Wedding.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, a candlelight wedding, and Gator, let me say your points just were so great. I never thought of them. I never thought of it in the way that you had described. So, kudos for that. That's a new perspective. That put a whole new perspective on Candlelight Wedding. But one thing that but something that I really enjoyed. This was another thing that I enjoyed was I'm also like Wolfie. I've also love weddings too.
Yay!
I love weddings too. I love wedding dresses. I love wedding dresses too. Oh my gosh. I could look at wedding stuff just for the dresses alone. My mom and I, we will devour. We used to devour shows like Say Yes to the Dress. Oh my.
Yes, we should work. We should make a female only Yes to the Dress.
Let's go.
It's ladies' night. Hand up podcast night. Oh, it's ladies' night. Oh, what? But yes, I love weddings. Yes, I'm a bit of a romantic, so sue me. But also,
Same here.
but the big thing that I absolutely loved was the music.
I love the music so
day
much.
Aria, it's Love Isn't Blue, but the This Day aria sold it for me. Oh my gosh, it sold it so hard for me.
In my heart, there is no room.
But I still want him to be all mine. Oh, I love it. I have that note in my dreams. I'm like, oh my God, it's so wonderful. I love This Day aria. It just sold it for me. But also just the action in it. I love just the story leading up to it. Love to see Twilight getting a brother, of course, Shining Armor.
Shining Armor.
Andrew Francis. Yep. And but the one thing I also loved about it is like I realized something. There's a soap opera plot. It's a soap opera-esque plot. And I would almost, you know what? Actually, if there was, I tell you what, if there was it's a very soap opera-esque plot because another point to my mother, she is a lifelong daytime soap opera watcher. Do you have any idea? And in one certain soap opera, Days of Our Lives, do you have any idea how many times that stupid plot of a clone or switching the bride or switching the groom or just switching the lover has been done so many freaking times?
My mom told me about that one.
Exactly. And this had, I was like, this is like a freaking soap opera plot, but you know what? I don't mind it. But I guarantee you, if somebody had put a slap in there, telenovela.
Telenovela, let's go.
Yes.
All right.
But ultimately, A Candlelight Wedding is number 3, and because I love the music, I love the story. Yes, there you go.
Telenovela.
The soap opera trope, at very least. Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right. So who wants to go next?
I can go next.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about season 3. Once I find what I'm reading from here. Yeah, it's probably the least purely respected of all the seasons. It comes in last in most polls where they're all rated. And it might be because seasons 6 and 8 are a little underhated, which don't have a better word for it. And
underhated.
I mean, I wouldn't say season 6 needs hate, but season 8, yes.
Season 8
is my pick for
underhated.
worst. Season 6 is just so consistently middle of the road. I would argue it has a case, but to be fair, again, the ever fickle fan base was really quick to throw old seasons over their shoulder, which probably didn't help for 3 either. So looking back, does it really deserve it? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It only needed to fill up half as many episodes, and it couldn't even proportionately get as many good ones in there. It's where it was popular when Zach and Cody did it, comedy about, get it? Because I'm not being that thing we just said. I'm stupid. Starting to leak its way in.
Yeah.
And more than a couple just plain desperate jokes along with it. Some of its morals were like the concerned parents of Barney the dinosaur sending their members who had never met a kid. Its version of trying, as often as not, was sloppy references, allusions, fan service, character pandering. It has 2 of my bottom 5 episodes and 1 of my bottom 1.
I mean, spiking your service has to be one of them, right? I definitely do not have an onion. Oh, thank goodness, because I definitely do not have a very extreme hatred of this episode or anything. Definitely not. Definitely not. I definitely don't want to set it on fire.
But all that said about that season, there is one thing I will always give it among all of the other ones. It has my single favorite one-part episode in the entire series.
I think I know which one you're going to talk
Ooh.
about. I know it's going to make DC happy.
Too many Pinkie Pies.
Let's
Wait.
go! Too many Pinkie Pies!
Plot twist.
Oh my god.
Too many
Oi.
Pinkie Pies!
I mean, season 3 does have another one in my top 20. There were a few I could have meant there, but yeah. All of the main 6 at their best had their own pure vibe for a type of episode that you could only get from them. But Pinkie Pie was a breakout. Just as much as any personality trait, she was the pure, hilarious, sweet ADHD putty blob made of whip crack comedic timing that makes her one of the great modern day Looney Tunes. Tai Chi, or Tai Lee by way of SpongeBob, by way of Bubbles, and this is her magnum opus. If she were Michael Jordan, this would be her 69-point game. If she were Muhammad Ali, this would be her Cleveland Williams fight. If she were Charlie Chaplin, this would be her City Lights.
And all thanks to the works of Dave Polsky, the guy who had to write most of
Super
season
Bowl.
3.
This is it's Pinkie Pie's Super Bowl, pretty much.
Pinkie Pie!
Like, this is Pinkie Pie's 6th Super Bowl win, or whatever the
Pinkie
most
Pie's Tom
masterpiece
Brady.
Super Bowl win was.
Pinkie Pie's Tom Brady, essentially.
Like, this was just
Let's go!
real, creative, needle-sharp writing. I could probably just read lines the whole rest of the time here and make my point. Cute little orange birdie, do me next, Twilight, do me. Oh, Rarity, want to see Twilight turn me into an orange? It's gonna be
Or the best part, the big reasons why, if you went to a con, everyone was saying, fun.
Oh, yes. Oh, Pinkie,
Alright.
the only way to pull off something like that is if there's more of you to go around.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oi,
The
Pinkie
rare
running over the
reasons why-
horizon screaming, oh, goodness, was it something I said?
There was
Runs
even
over the horizon again. How'd you
There's
do
even
that?
a joke
Just
about
trying
that
to
in like
show a
one of
little
my favorite commentary videos where we're just like a ton of Pinkie Pies just appearing out of nowhere in the middle of the review, and then there was like a thing where people were starting to turn into Pinkie Pies. So then there was even more Pinkie Pies just everywhere.
Speaking of which, let's not forget, bet you can't make a face crazier than this.
Oh my god, the one who she did a Gen 1 face.
Gen 3, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it was Gen 3. It was Gen 3. It
Oh,
was the
Gen,
more.
oh shit, it was a Gen 3. My bad. It was a
I
Gen
actually
This
actually
concept-
had some Gen 3 merch because around the time that I was starting to get into My Little Pony, they were still making a mix of Gen 3 and Gen 4 merch. So I still have some Gen 3
Oh.
stuff.
All right.
Like a
All
Gen
right. But we need
Okay.
to move
But
on.
yeah, but this concept is unforgettable, and it's a big part of what pushes all those moments above and beyond. Pinkie really is on her own wavelength on a regular day, but the crazy cyclone of Pinkie caricatures does a great job emphasizing how there's a sweetness and a concern behind most of what the real one does, and it really helps put you behind her little existential crisis. I actually feel really sorry for her, even as I'm getting into the chaos of this adventure, which is no one-note conflict. Like, even the little touches, which we were still drowning in that early season enthusiasm, they help. Like Spike finding the book with the spell they need in a secret compartment of Twilight's library. It helps make this feel like this world and the forces in it really do stuff like this, whether the writer has a random idea of the day or not. And the one criticism I hear is that it should be easy to outsmart the fake Pinkies if they don't have the real ones' memories, but I think everyone just plain conveniently forgets that the others don't know that, and it's very, very in character for Pinkie to fall down a rabbit hole of existentialism on whether she deserves to be the real one, as though that's the same as whether she is. It's not how I would do logic if this were the real world, but this one knows when to play caricature and when to play relatable depth. There is not a dull moment in this thing. Even watching paint dry is hilarious and suspenseful.
Yep.
All right. With that said, I guess we'll move on to the of the threes. Carlos, you want me to go first, or do you want to go?
I think I should go first in this case because, second, I appreciate your opinion about season 3, in which there was a lot of duds, and one writer certainly had to do a lot with what little was there.
Dave Polsky.
God, it's like it's too much for one guy. And I'm here to say that it would be quite interesting if I were to bring up another case of a Dave Polsky episode from that said season for my number 3, actually.
Ooh.
Another. What else did he write in that season? Can't remember off the top of my head. Go ahead.
Well, this episode I feel like is the only thing of worth of season 3 aside from the M.A. Larson alicord moments, and that would be a story that was done by Tony Antonio, but done by Dave Polsky. Keep calm and flutter on.
Let's
We're coming back! Yes!
You will see this in my list later.
Oh.
I was looking over at Facebook and once I saw that episode, like on my Facebook, I was like, okay, yeah, this episode is kind of a bit more goated than what I was going to put for number 3 here because I had a completely different episode for number 3 until 5 minutes ago. And the thing was like the thing I replaced it with was literally the only other episode that focused on a minor antagonist coming back, but that was very short-lived because they didn't really bring her back for any more episodes after that episode. So I feel like it was less weighty. But getting the beginnings of the Discord Reformation arc with season 3, a season that was cut short, but then bringing in something that was not even in the premiere or the finale was a stroke of genius, like legitimately. We didn't think like John Delancey would be coming back for multiple roles.
Right.
We didn't know any of this. And then to top it all off, it brings a plot point from the season 2 opener. The one character that had to be forced to be discorded is the one that was entrusted to by Celestia to perform. Not Twilight, not Rarity, not Pinky, not Applejack, but oh, sweet little Fluttershy.
Fluttershy.
Yep.
Oh,
They are both great in this one, Discord and Fluttershy.
Yeah.
yes.
And so, and hence the beginning of Fluttercord.
That's the
Fluttercord.
beginnings of Fluttercord.
Yes.
Or Discord's version of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh God, yeah.
We got a better
the
ending.
ramification of this episode reached far and high, all the way up until the fact that we have a literal death battle referencing this relationship.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
The reach of this episode. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to drop this. I have to drop this really quick, but I promise it'll be really quick because I just found this on Instagram. I know we're on My Little Pony, but since we all watched K-pop Demon Hunters and we all loved it,
Well,
I gotta share this with you guys.
All right.
I just found it on Instagram. The soundtrack is now platinum.
let's
Dad.
go.
And I just saw
Let's
this comment I
go.
wanted to share with everybody. Forget golden. The Honmoon is now platinum.
Gonna be
go.
platinum.
All right.
I love it. But anyway, I just wanted to drop that. I just wanted to drop that. I wanted to share that with everybody. Sorry.
All right, but to go on, yeah, Carlos, yeah, that episode will be coming back on my list, but it won't be number 3 because number 3 is the other Discord episode. That is Return of Harmony.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, I like the
The
team.
season 2 premiere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I felt this really kicked off, which obviously is arguably the best season of the show, and it just was a very good, interesting, probably the most likable villain of the show, like antagonist, whatever he technically becomes, but like this introduced a fantastic character. It also like sort of balanced like the stresses it put on all the main 6 in different ways in it, which becomes harder in later seasons for episodes to do, and it just sort of completely was like a off the rails episode, like in terms of like Discord just spreading discourse. And they said it was also full of so many different references that were naturally integrated, but like easily missed unless you know them. Like how many people don't notice that there's Star Wars reference at first?
I love this episode so much. I really should have put it on my list because I just love. I still remember the multiple times that I had forced my parents to watch this episode.
No.
I love it so much. I fucking love Discord.
Both this and
Does
Keep Calm and Flutter On would be on my favorites list if we went far out enough. I think top 30 and top 40 respectively, something like that. Yeah, Discord be a heck of an entertaining character.
I love Discord. I love Discord.
Who doesn't love Discord? Who
Alright. So,
doesn't
yeah,
love him?
I don't feel like to explain too much here because this is like an iconic two-parter that sort of kicked off arguably the best season of the show. So
Oh yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
if everyone's ready, we can move on to number 2s.
Oh,
Oh
now
no,
this
now we're in Seconds
one.
Domain. Now we're in Seconds Domain. Quick, hide under the hatches.
Okay, I guess I have to go first then.
It just seems fitting.
This bowl is $33.50. I want it.
Really? All right, fine. I guess I'll go last then. Close up the second spot.
So as soon as second goes, by you guys' logic, I'm gonna have to hide under the bed or something.
So I guess who does want to go first?
Well, I have to
Daylover.
yield to my wife here. Listen to the lady.
Daylover,
Yay.
Daylover.
Because it's the sound of silence. Yeah.
Because
Oh.
rainbows won't light up the
Light up
sky,
the sky
unless you let it rain. Candles don't glow until they burn. Because you can't give up your laughter, because you're scared of a little pain. It's a lesson that my village never learned.
Love it.
I love it. That actually was supposed to get on my honorable mentions. I love it so much.
Yes. And again, I think I have a theme going on here with like fitting in and trying to find your place and what life is all about and stuff like that. But this is just like so beautiful, and I love the craziness of the pony that's like exiled and talking to her friends, quote unquote. And I love Applejack in this episode. She is my favorite poem after all.
Yeah.
So yes. One more. Yeah, it's just like again the finding out who you are, where you're fitting in, how you can fit in, like what's happening, and in this episode, like the leader actually being the one in this case that's wrong is not something that you see very often in these shows with like the overhead, or how to say that, the one in charge being like have to admit like, oh, I was wrong with such an important thing that they actually get to speak. Like I'm like the first time I was just like, yes, this is what we need, like accept this and like just be a part and learn from like each other like this. Don't try to learn from others even though that they have weird ideas, and don't exclude them out in the wild where they're talking to weird stuff. But I can feel this a little bit like too with my younger days. Not that I was ever excluded from my family, thankfully, but I do remember being pushed out and bullied a lot, so it reconciles for me a lot. So
Turns living with depression or otherwise problems like that into an act of triumphant defiance.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this might be my favorite of the. What was it? This is the Map Quest episode. I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
And it's also probably the only case of a season 8 episode heading the list.
Like,
Mhm.
Yes.
one of 2 for me. But yeah, the writing major in me really loves how smooth this one flows. Like this is in my top 20.
Absolutely. I love that episode.
All right. So who wants to go next on their number 2?
Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. It's a fucking Canterlot wedding.
Number 2.
It's just ruling over everything now.
No,
Oh,
this episode literally changed my life as a kid because not only was I hosting the fucking pony weddings, but also at the same time, there was like this little website that was around at the time for like flash games, and like you could like print out all sorts of like activities for the Canterlot wedding and everything. So I printed out like every single random activity they had on the website. I spent hours playing fan games and official games for a Canterlot wedding. I decided I wanted to be like I wanted to do like crazy amounts of wedding planning. I started planning my own wedding based off of this, which I am still going to use that plan. I one day want to get the cake from the wedding. I one day want to get the dress from the wedding. I one day, as embarrassing as it sounds, want to have a wedding heavily based on this episode and have everything, including recipes and everything I would need to pull this off, written down since I was like 6 years old, and I still have those pieces of paper.
Nice.
And this episode is genuinely the main reason I got into the fandom, because this is one of the first, if not the first episode I ever watched, and there is a reason that my pony Sona is a half alicorn and a half unreformed changeling. The changelings is the coolest concept ever. I have never seen a piece of media do that much of an interesting concept with a species of characters before. I love Queen Chrysalis. I love everything about this character. I love Canterlot as a location. I love that we were able to see more of it. The songs are amazing. The writing is spectacular. Shining Armor's incompetence is pretty hilarious. And honestly, I felt bad for Twilight as someone who's been in similar situations before, where there's something that I know could help everyone that's obvious, but nobody wants to listen to me. This situation has happened to me so many times that I genuinely feel sorry for her. And the fact that this also did something extremely important of showing DJ Palm 3's eyes for the first time. The fandom thought they were red, they were pink, and her eye color was revealed in this episode. This is definitely the most important thing in the episode, 100%, definitely. Don't quote me. And honestly, this episode was what got me into the show and genuinely inspired me in so many ways. So much that not only is my pony Sona forever a half unreformed changeling and a half alicorn, not only am I making the self-insert that's going to represent me for all my music, being a mix of a pony, a changeling, and an unreformed changeling, and a human. That's literally going to be my Sona for all of my music. I'm basing my entire music career off of a self-insert with the species from this episode, meaning that this episode triply changed my life, but just everything about it is just absolutely perfect. I have no notes, and I still want to one day have that wedding. So I am just getting this out of the way now, because when Second has his turn on this, I think we're both going to have very long rants. So I'm getting my rant out of the picture first. Thank you for listening to Wolfgang's TED Talk.
All right. I think I want to go next. I think we need to go next after.
All right. Peter next.
All right. So imagine an episode that only has one character from season 1, one character from season 2, another character from season 5, and one character from season 6 working together to solve a problem. It's a very interesting conundrum. But I wonder what sort of problem would require such an assortment
I
of an
guessed it.
individual. What is it?
Ooh.
The season 6 finale to Where and Back again.
That would be
Yo,
correct.
let's go!
We're bringing back Revenge of Quick Christmas up in here with the Suicide Squad of the ponies. So, I bet you're wondering why I chose To Wear and Back again for like my favorites. Well, let's begin with one thing. Starlight Glimmer. It was so hard to get behind her after being exposed to Rainbow Rocks with Sunset Shimmer's reformation. And then to have a copy and paste repeat with someone else who was reformed at the end of season 5 through one of the worst finales. And then just having them awkwardly just be put into the show like it is. Starlight did not really have many good graces on her. But then some stuff's beginning to change with No Second Prances, reintroducing Trixie to be a new companion for her.
I love Trixie.
Then we have Discord coming in trying to help find his dear Fluttershy, who has gone missing because of these changelings amok. And then Dorax, the friend that was befriended by Spike in order to be reintroduced to the Crystal Empire. And because of being reintroduced into a different society, not into his native one, led him to be transformed into a brand new king for their species, which I gotta say, the changelings in particular, even though this wasn't an episode in which Chrysalis was going to get revenge for Cadence and Shining Armor, the ones who actually did defeat Queen Chrysalis before in the Cantaloupe wedding, this episode in which she easily handled the princesses and the main 6.
Literally.
Leaving
She
these
didn't.
4.
She got plot device them.
She plot device them using the power of plot convenience.
Power of off-screen.
Power of
Let's
off-screen espionage and whatnot.
Power of off-screen espionage like Espio from the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wait, that's a spoiler, dude. I didn't know.
Oh fuck.
Okay. So like honestly, the reason why I rate this finale so highly is like the interesting collection of like not having the main cast be here in order to try to save the world. In this case, that is the thing that really draws me to it. Exploring a changeling hive to such depths of like such barrenness and whatnot, of like a drone culture like this.
Yeah.
Only then to meet Queen Chrysalis being reintroduced in the most creepiest way possible with her neck turning 180 degrees. I'm just going to say Queen Chrysalis is a baddie. I am not going to front. I am sorry. I am sorry for all of you young ones, but that is the truth.
The Queen Chrysalis is a baddie.
She is. And she stayed and the crazy thing is she stayed a baddie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I just overall just love like the aesthetic of the old changelings that weren't reformed. The new changelings took a bit of a design warming up to, but in the end, I feel like it was really good to see like a revolution of culture be taking place to help reintroduce a new species into Equestria's borders, you know?
Yeah.
Me. I want to be the first to look like a rejected forest spirit.
My
It sound like I don't like this episode. It's in my top 25.
My Sona is still an unreformed. My Sona is still half unreformed changeling.
I think this episode, it's not on my like top list, but I would say it's probably my favorite like 2-parter in the second half of the show.
Put it right alongside ending of the end. I feel like both of them are trying to flex their muscle power as just this sprawling adventure. I'm like, Ooh, to where and back again. You're so tight and focused. Ending of the end. You're so sprawling and epic.
What the heck is going on
All
here?
right. So I guess who wants to go next? I think it's still Jen in second and me for number 2.
I'll go next, and we're number 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
All right. My number two is the best night ever.
Oh,
And we danced all
Best
night.
night ever.
From season 1, the best night
go.
ever at the gala. At the gala,
At the gala.
at the garden.
Gala.
I'm going to see them all.
Oh.
Pictures of them at the gala. Oh, yeah.
Gala.
Because the best
That
night.
was somebody's honorable mention, right?
That's
I
mine.
think
That's
it was
my
2 of
honorable
our
mention.
honorable mentions.
Well, the best night ever is number 2 for me. Because I thought it was such a great build up and a great end, kind of bookend to season 1, and it actually solidified me as like, okay, I'm in. I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm watching this show, but the biggest thing of all, okay, so I'm not gonna lie, the greatest thing about this episode was you're going to love
Man.
Fluttershy
Fluttershy.
losing her frickin' mind because the animals were not flocking to her like some Disney frickin' princess, and she crashes out. She totally crashes out of the gala and everything. Like, kid you not, I was watching this with my ex-boyfriend a long time ago. He's the one who got me into it. Thanks, a-hole. But best thing he ever did. But I kid you not, when I watched that moment, Fluttershy, like, you're going to love me, I fell off the couch laughing so hard because I was listening. Because, like, this is the sweet, kind, innocent pony. I mean, I had the moment where we did have the moment where she punches the dragon. No, she didn't punch the dragon. I'm sorry, where she yelled at the dragon. So that should have been a factor. But just seeing that one crash out, just seeing that was like, it was such a shock, and it just made me just laugh so hard. I told him to rewind it 2 times because I just kept laughing and laughing and laughing. And to this day, it is still one of my greatest. It is still the funniest of all 9 seasons. It is the funniest.
You are dying to
Of
love
all
me.
9 seasons, that is the funniest moment for me, and
At a valid pay.
it is the funniest moment for me. And I was like,
love it.
"What the heck?" And at the same time, I was like, "Okay, you got me. I'm in. I'm in to win." But yeah. So yeah, the best night ever, aka Fluttershy's crash out, but also not just that. There was a little bit of something, a little bit of slice of slice of life in there.
Yeah, slice of life.
Because you have these expectations of, like, you build up this day and it could be your wedding, it could be your prom, it could be your job interview. It could be a big party, or it could be your freaking birthday. You have all these expectations, and you think it's going to be the best thing ever, right?
Yeah.
And also, I love the gala song, of course, because it was a great kind of, like, first time I'd ever really heard, like, I don't know, orchestral instruments and everything. It's like, oh man, they're up in the game with this. So
Yeah.
I'd heard that in this thing. I was like, man, they're up in it. This is cool. So this was a great build up, and the animation, same build up to the gala and such. But you have these expectations, like, you think it's going to be one way, and it's the complete opposite. Every pony in there, they have a complete opposite experience. They have their intentions known in the song. Of course, Twilight thinks she's gonna, sit and talk with Princess Celestia about everything she's learned, only to find out Celestia is too busy doing PR, whatever the hell it is. And then, like, Rainbow Dash thinks she's going to, meet the Wonderbolts, and she doesn't really get to. Well, she only really gets to meet kind of Soren in there.
Because of the pie.
Because of the pie. Applejack thinks she's going to sell all her wares there and buy Granny a new hip. She only makes one sale, and that's so real. That is so real. It is too real.
The one sale is the pie. The one sale is the pie.
Oh yeah, that's the pie that
It all
Soren
ties together. It all ties together. The one sale is the pie.
Yep, it's
Rainbow
the pie.
Rainbow Dash and Applejack got their moments because of that pie.
Exactly.
That shows they were made for each other.
Exactly.
They got their moment because of the pie.
It did.
All right.
Yep. It brought forth. It made Flutterdash. Not sorry for Flutterdash. It made Apple Dash a real
Is it on
thing.
anybody's honorable mention list besides Wolfgang's? I'm keeping track of the power rankings here.
Okay.
No, it was mine and
They all
Wolfgang's
had like
honorable
just
mention.
like I should say they had opposite experiences and of course, and then really, but I love the way they ended it. It ended like almost a typical sitcom, but I wasn't even mad about it. How instead they went to the Donut Joe's and they had a better time there than at the gala itself. I loved and I loved it was a little bit of slice of life in there. It was a great bookend to season 1, and of course the best part of all, Fluttershy just crashing the fuck out. It's yes, that you're gonna love me moment. I tell you, is to me the funniest of all 9 seasons. That is the peak.
Okay, well, I think everybody's waiting for me to close the number 2 out and live up to that second thing. So
The
I guess
second.
it's the DC, I guess, should go first.
Yep, and I guess this go off when I was going earlier. When I was actually certain when your number 3 was this one because your description of like, oh, this is probably the most important, like influential, like one-up episode in the season. I feel this is what my number 2 is, and also from season 3, which is Keep Calm, Flutter On. This episode really changed, like was such a significant change for an antagonist turned into still serving antagonist, but from villain to antagonist. And it was just such a nice, it had nice development for Discord. It was a well-written, balanced episode that was very much a very obvious nod to Beauty and the Beast. And also, it was a great episode that showed Fluttershy's growth from the season as she stood up for herself and was basically used kindness to defeat Discord, and not just like metaphorically, like the element of kindness, like the magic, but literally just showed him kindness and understanding. And like when he betrayed that, she withheld that understandably, and he did not like that.
Yeah.
And this is like it's a fun dynamic. It's probably one of, if not the most rewatched episode for me for the show.
Yeah.
And it had such powerful information from Fluttercore to Discord, just actually developing as a character. Yeah, just probably one of arguably the most influential like mid-season episode. Yeah. I guess we gotta close out with second now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's
god.
go.
I do like that episode too. That's like would be in my top 40 all-time favorites. Okay, number 2.
The Grant Vernon novel.
Gee, I'm so lucky to have a wife who roasts me.
Roasting really is a love language.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Okay, this is where I make a liar out of myself a little. Like I said, all of these episodes are in a league of their own and would have more than done the series proud as the number 1 pick. But what they don't have is absolutely everything still operating in a league of their own. Number 2, Twilight's Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the one everybody wants to be too good for and pigeonhole as the action one. And to me, the accurate comparison is how everyone treats The Dark Knight like a fact. Almost like this genre touchstone that dropped out of the sky and was so big that we have to talk about it like we're reconciling with it. The people love it, don't say so, because they either don't want to be called basic or they feel like it doesn't need their help. And even so, the people who want to be too good for it always start from the standpoint that they're taking on this massive powerhouse, and their arguments always amount to, but it's not the kind of Batman story that I like the thought of being the best. It doesn't have the same tone or atmosphere or character nuances that I've decided in my head are the perfect ones. It makes me feel like I'm not the final word on what's best. That's beat for beat how I saw it go down with Twilight's Kingdom. It's the kind of backlash that validates the praise and demonstrates that it really was that big and that warranted. And in Twilight's Kingdom's case, it's the line is specifically high octane action in My Little Pony. Clearly, I'm so not shallow. I'm so the not shallow one for picking something that did it more subtly. And then that something more subtly ends up being something they name like Starlight and Twilight screaming soap opera philosophy at each other, and Lego bricking an in-theory character arc together, or spoiled rich twirling her mustache hard enough to elbow a giant face turn for Diamond Tiara in where all her actual characterization used to be. It only works if you so insightfully think about Twilight's Kingdom as literally one scene. It doesn't work if you remember the creepiness of, is he friend or is he foe? The pony wonders. It doesn't work if you remember how it felt to hear Twilight say that her new role as a princess didn't seem like it amounted to much after a whole season of it not actually amounting to anything too scary, despite starting with her feeling like it was such a big stage to fill. It doesn't work if you remember how Discord's standoff with Tyrek went from this delightful one-sided route to a discussion where you realize Discord legit didn't have all that strong a counter-argument, to a meteor of totally screwed that later doubled in size in the final payoff to that story arc where Tyrek dropped absolutely everyone's jaw, kicking Discord to the curb. This episode does it all. Now, as far as the skill it wields all that power with, its approach mainly seems to give everything about an equal portion of the focus, enough to make sure that it's definitely made its point and done what it wanted to do in each separate block it goes through. So at its worst, it comes out good enough to make you want maybe a little more, like how Shining Armor's last stand, that's supposed to represent Discord making the penultimate betrayal and getting acclimated to the increasing pain it's causing him. Yeah, that basically amounts to, how could you do this? But yeah, that's at the worst this episode gets. At its best, it's a menagerie of highlight reel gems, including every last thing I mentioned before, and the breather scene with Twilight's friends before Discord leaves that shows off their chemistry and how well they've come to support each other, and possibly the best finale montage in the whole series. And yes, that action scene. Let's talk about that. Because yeah, you can talk about all you want, the appeal you like the thought of, but this scene is by design a clash of the titans, as it has to be a worthy payoff to everything it built up across the whole runtime. Both of these characters trying to gather and master all of this power for totally opposite reasons. And with virtuoso direction, it actually managed to be that payoff and make the all or nothing decision that came next feel warranted. This, make no mistake, is some seriously energetic blocking and pacing that amps up in powerfully dramatic fashion, and staging that makes every move they perform seem dangerous. Like Tyrek slicing the ground out from under Twilight as she lands and that feels dangerous. Like you don't know they're gonna get cut up at any second. It didn't steal the show. The entire point of the episode. It stole the show because it's the well-earned climax of an S-tier episode. Or at least it stole the show. It was part one of that, followed by Twilight's victory. With friendship lasers just beating him with a big blast? No. Not just friendship lasers, and I can't emphasize that enough. Just like they didn't mean lasers when Luna had to be confined after she crashed out and gave into her darkness and then had to be reacclimated by Twilight bringing in her 6 qualities that the episode considered essential to connecting with people. Just like they didn't mean lasers when Discord's power derived from separating them and their power derived from coming together. In this one, Twilight faces the impossible choice of whether to push people away when you're the best at fighting something, or whether to give some of yourself to them and depend on the very big if you can rely on each other to come up with something that keeps you all safe. Later episodes that tried to talk more about being more than just friendship lasers made the elements less meaningful and not more. This right here in Twilight's Kingdom is we're going to win not by fighting what we hate, by saving what we love, done better.
All right.
And
That's
so yeah,
good.
don't care about the gotcha that Discord knew about Twilight and getting rid of the power and all that. Like, hey, the desperation plan had a chance to not work because of nuances. No kidding. Like, I could write a dissertation twice as long, easy as that point, on other two-parters and why they have holes in them. Like, yeah,
All right. But with
I don't know that, but yeah,
said,
it
we need
did.
to move on to the number
Okay,
one.
so I will just say that, yeah, okay, final line. The heart, the suspense, the character, the triumph. This episode is peak creation from seriously peaking talent. I know what I said about, yeah, you need 10 first place episodes, but this episode is absolute peak. And as far as I'm concerned, only 2 places would ever do for it. First or second, if you're not biased towards a certain appeal. And second it is.
Second.
Let's go. Second.
Now let's go on to
Second
the.
opinion.
So who wants to go first with their first?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I go?
Daylover.
Can I-
Hold on. Day or Jen. Day or Jen. Day or Jen.
I might get a
No,
little heat
Day?
for this one, though.
You know what, Day? Go ahead. You round. You set. Bring it on home, Day.
And that's the
Oh my
tradition.
God. I'm a little nervous with this one because it's magic and mystery.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Gator said something nice about this one.
Sounded like a critical hit for Gator. Gator down. Gator down. Gator down.
Gator, no, I'm sorry.
Someone get the paramedics.
Why? You shouldn't be.
I just love all of the songs, but my favorite song is still Celestia's Ballad. I can't listen to that song without crying. So what happened to me the first time I saw this episode? I thought that Twilight were blasted and died and went to the other plane. So I was crying. I was like literally going into like shock and like just crying, being a mess. And here's this beautiful song and her turning into an Elkhorn, like going like she earned all of this. And I was just like, oh my God, I am like feeling this so much, like wanting to be there, want to fulfill my purpose, want to like experience this with my own mom, which I had a couple of years ago, kind of, sort of, but like this just like so beautiful. And I think there's like also a funny song, and there's like the Celestia's Ballad that's more like simple and soft, and then there's also like the hard song, and like there's just I think a song for everybody in this episode. And I just love the again with the cutie marks, finding out that it's not as easy to do each other's jobs, walking in each other's shoes. We should all learn a little about that, because we all are a little like, oh, it seems so easy what you're doing, until you're doing it yourself, and then you're like, uh-oh, this is not what's supposed to be doing. And but I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I think that it was too early. I don't think that she's been through too much. And I'm like, did you watch all of the other episodes with me? Or is it just me that watched, like, how many episodes have Twilight been through all of these friendship problems and doing all of this stuff for her friends? I think it's well deserved. I think like it was about time, and it's just like it couldn't have been ending
more beautiful to me. And I know it's silly, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I just have it as my number one, especially because of the Celestia song and just the whole thing about like accepting and fulfilling your dream, your everything without even you knowing it. Like it's just like crazy to me. Like that actually also happened to me a little while ago. Actually, also maybe I'll make a video about that, but that's for a whole other thing because else I could go on a rant all night, and we don't have time for that. So next person, go ahead.
Jen! Go Jen!
Okay, all right.
Agree with you.
My number one MLP episode is, drum roll please.
Yes. Yes.
Suited for Success from season 1.
Oh.
That is my number one. Now I can
Another one that nips a song from Broadway.
exactly.
Ooh.
Stitch by stitch, putting it together. Yeah.
Someday in
all
the
of
Park with George, if you didn't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, but also like all of these have like MLP is one of those things that's really like affected me like kind of personally and such. It's been such a thing in my life and such. And you know what? A lot of the people that I have in my life, you guys included, is because of this one show. You know. And
I feel emotional now.
Yeah, and it's all because of this show, and every one of these has like really affected like me personally, or I felt it on a certain level, or something that I've never, or that opened my mind to something that all my choices. But my reason was Suited for Success was the first moment that I ever saw this episode, that I ever saw this series, and it was the first episode that I saw the series that made me kind of pause and think, whoa, there's something more to this. And honestly, it was, and this also solidified me as a Rarity fan, of Rarity being my spirit animal and such. But also because of the whole scene. And I wasn't at first my ex was showing it to me. I was thinking, you've lost your mind, you know? And I was like kind of grumbling and listening through and trying to get through the other episodes leading up to it. And then episode 8 came on, and just when I thought, okay, they're gonna like it, and they're gonna like the first round of dresses and such, and it's just gonna be boring. No, they didn't. They were like, what? And then all of a sudden, like, and that moment made me kind of turn. I'm like, wait, what? And then Rarity is, and then I was thinking like Rarity was going to, like, you know, just be a drama queen about it. I thought she'd get out that fainting couch and be like, you know, I really thought it was that, but no, she just said, okay, it's a lot. She's like, that's fine. It was just the first pass. You're my friends, and I want you to be satisfied. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And that actually shocked me. And it actually shocked me a little bit. I was like, whoa, oh my God. She, Little Miss Prissy, fancy fashion pony. There's something more to her. And also, of course, the song Art of the Dress. And just hearing about her artistic process and how myself trying to be a creative person and everything. I just felt it all the way through that song. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is exactly the creative process, I think, because of going through like different iterations through the and talking with your clients and such. So I'm thinking, whoever wrote this, whoever created this part, they had experience, and you can tell. And you could tell they've done that. There was that experience. And in my few times of when I've actually gotten to do design, it was exactly like that. And then I remember I came away from that episode thinking, holy crap, what else do they know? And that was the first indicator that made me think, you know what? You shouldn't judge this series. So keep on watching. So this number one for me was the first indicator that I should not turn my nose at it, and I should keep on watching. And here we are 15 years later, and we're all like ranting and raving and how much we loved this show and everything. And yeah, all because of Suited for Success.
Yeah.
For me anyway.
With that said, who wants to go next with their number one?
Ooh. If no one else wants to go first, then I can.
All right.
So, I did a review of this episode with someone who may or may not be on this call. That was my most edited video ever and my most popular video on my YouTube channel, period, because of my dad thinking of the most complicated ad campaign known to man. So this episode is one of the many things as a child that convinced me what I wanted to do with my life, sort of my purpose here. And that episode is the main attraction, baby.
Oh.
True. Whoa.
Now for this episode, I did a review of it with the second opinion, which is my most popular video on my entire YouTube channel, which I still have saved as my channel trailer, meaning that anytime anyone goes to my channel, they instantly see this review. It is my passion project and is the video that I am the most proud of working on, period. Now, when it comes to this episode, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a stage performer, but my dad always gave me these little lessons. He taught me at an extremely young age, as my dad has passed in the music industry. Like, my dad, as a drummer, even helped out a couple famous bands. He always warned me about record labels and how they're extremely controlling and restrictive. He taught me basically about the Sven Gallops of the world to me at a very young age, as soon as I started being interesting in show performing. And this episode really hammered in my dad's points extremely, because Sven Gallop is the perfect representation of everything wrong about the music industry and the corruption of its labels. They don't see people as people, they see people as products, and they show that perfectly here. Rara had completely lost her identity, her sense of self. She lost everything because of Sven Gallop. And this was the moment I fully decided that I am never, and I mean never, going to sign to a record label. I will always be purely independent. I don't care if that makes it so that it's more difficult for me to rise in the industry. I've seen indie artists before me get even more popular than people with record labels. With that information alone, I knew that I am never going to sign to a label. And this episode is a great example of that. Just the satisfactory ending of having Sven Gallop finally called out for all the terrible things he put Rara through, and just finally seeing her snapping and taking back control of her life. That even felt symbolic to me as someone who's had other people constantly trying to control me. Like my parents are extremely supportive of everything I do, but I've had some friends that have been manipulative as fuck, especially this year, who have been trying to sort of control my life in every way, shape, and form. And it's the reason why I'm only starting to work on the album now with some help from a friend. But the thing is that I wouldn't have even been able to start on this if it wasn't for me finally relinquishing that control. It felt like people just saw me as a people pleaser and not more of my own person. It feels like I finally had that sort of final moment where Rara gets on that stage and performs in front of everyone. I felt like I had that moment finally when I broke my strings into stuff, and I was gonna finally take my own life into my own hands. I don't care if me doing my own decisions makes me lose my friend group or anyone I know, I need to actually not think that prioritizing myself is selfish, because it's not. And as soon as I started doing it, October has been fucking amazing. And the reason it has is because I took that control back. And that's what happened here. And honestly, everyone always talks about Applejack being boring or underrated. I don't agree with that. Applejack is not only one of my favorite characters in the whole show, but this is the episode that she shines the most. Also, fun fact, Applejack doesn't get much merch because they aren't able to add anything like stereotypically girly onto her design without it fucking with the design.
No.
The reason Applejack doesn't have much merchandise. Yes, I do know a lot about My Little Pony merchandise. It is a hyperfixation. But anyways, not to get sidetracked.
But yeah, we need to.
Applejack's best episode by far. And honestly, the difference between Rara and Countess Coloratura genuinely felt like me finally breaking my strings and taking back control of my life. And that is the new updated reason on why this episode means so much to me as a stage performer and a person who feels like she finally found herself and where she wants to be in the world at the age of nearly 17. So thank you.
I am real proud of the work we do on that video too.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah, I would say this episode is one that's definitely would be on my honorable mention list. Looking back, I just sort of forgot it. I was like, oh right, yeah, I forgot that.
It's
Applejack's
actually in
friend
my
that
top
he-
10 as
he
well.
and
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it got
Lower,
mixed
but
up with
still
so
on my
many other
favorite
like
list
main
for me.
theme-
All because of Lady Gaga.
Let's go,
Oh, yeah.
Lady Gaga
Right.
pony.
Yeah.
But,
And also Prince Pony in there too.
Oh, yeah,
Prince
that's
Pony.
true.
Prince
yeah,
Pony,
we
there
need
you
to
go.
start, quickly moving on.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I guess we only have 3 more left.
Yeah, the guys. It's just the guys again.
Oh,
Just guys.
Might as well
we
get
always
mine out.
manage to do that. I guess we, ladies first or something.
Ladies first.
Oh.
Ladies first.
But I guess I can get mine done.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
We
I
like
guess I
that.
can mine gun quickly because it's sort of been discussed a lot. But cancel out wedding.
Let's go.
Yeah, because
Let's go.
Yeah.
It nearly took a spot in each of our lists except for number 3.
Wow.
No, somebody had it as number 3.
If the main let me just let you know, Derek, if the main attraction didn't exist, Canterlot Wedding would be my number 1 as well. If the main attraction just wouldn't have happened, Canterlot Wedding would have been my number 1 as well.
Jen, I think, had Canterlot Wedding as number 3.
Okay,
Uh,
then. Oh my God! They literally got all the spots. It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from 5 different people.
Yep.
Let's go.
But yeah, like I feel like besides what's been discussed, I feel this is this sort of like a peak of like this really stepped up what MLP could do. Like this was, I feel, a perfect cap off to like the best season. It was probably the most cinematic like thing that the show has done up to that point, and arguably in terms of regular episodes, the most cinematic still. In terms of like sort of a movie that's sort of a movie like experience in 2 episodes special. And besides, it introduced new like an iconic villain. It had like other characters introduced too, like Cadence and Shining Armor, and sort of like if you want to count Thorax, sort of is also introduced here.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like a nice cap off, and like it was sort of peak. Like even Wolfgang was bringing up like how there's Flash games. This is one of the most like promoted episodes ever in the show, and it was just like there was a big wedding thing experience. It was like everywhere. They had like fake wedding, like I think it was done right at the same time as the Kentucky Derby too. So they were sort of intertwining that too. In terms of like decor and all that. So yeah, it was just a very hyped up episode, like sort of very highlight. So who wants to go with their other number 1?
Well, last or next, Gator.
I feel like it should be better than. I should probably go second to last in this one. Okay. Like not. I felt a bit offended when you mentioned your number 2 second about like 2-parters that. like you felt like didn't really have like the gravitas and whatnot for like from like the second half of like season of the second half of the series. And I'm here to say that my favorite two-parter is School Rave. Oh yeah, baby, we're talking about the parade. No, I'm just
Which one's
joking.
School Rave again?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you don't
I'm
Music
not
Lord
going
tries
to
to
say.
take over.
I'm not going to say anything about like the season 8 parters. No, my favorite episode has to be Shadow Play.
Let's go.
Hey.
Because this it was also an episode that I did a collab with, and it was also the last review I ever did before being in an extended hiatus for like the longest time for reviews before I started doing Brave animated series. But Shadowplay was the episode that I felt like I took on an interesting spin for my critique on it. I really did like the atmosphere of like a mystery about like this mythological figure that we've heard all so much all the way back from season 1 to now finally meeting the pony
Yes.
in the flesh, Star Swirl the Bearded. Even though we've had different interpretations of Star Swirl in the My Little Pony comics, which those are still pretty goated materials. Like I do appreciate Star Swirl in the comics in the first part back in the day when it came to the King Sombra lore and whatnot. But this Star Swirl kind of gives like an interesting look into what original Twilight aspired to be, what she like longed to like learn all about. And it really does fit the bill that this Star Swirl would be an uncompromising like a leader of sorcery that would decide to gather up the efforts of multiple different legends and go for a self-sacrificial play against a problem that he unwittingly caused himself. And only when, upon release, shows no gratitude but resentment for the ponies of the present for ruining his machinations of being able to secure one of the worst travesties that he unwittingly brought onto this world in the form of the Shadow Pony, the King of Shadows, which, by the way, his presentation is very Venom-esque with like the symbiotic shadows and whatnot. Definitely an A tier like a design. But here's the thing about the Shadow Pony. He's not really the main focus of this two-parter. No. It's actually the conflict between mentor and mentee. Starlight provides a very interesting like dichotomy of eyes not clouded by nostalgia or by reverence over one follower, and wants to like bring up like the proof of her existence, what she has been brought into the table for. The idea of reformations is indeed possible. In fact, she literally did it at the last season 6 finale with the whole changelings being able to reform their ways mostly, barring their queen. And her herself being able to be reformed from someone who wanted to put everyone on equal level just so that they wouldn't be ostracized or be like removed by like the trauma of like people moving away to like their desires and whatnot. And she wanting to like stamp out on like that against like the dogma of Star Swirl, yet it was not getting to him. And not even getting to her own teacher, Twilight. So Starlight just basically decided to like basically put her hoof down and finally said what's what, which finally leads to Twilight basically taking the lesson from our own student and actually being able to reason with the villain instead of going magical pony lasers to banish him into limbo.
Yeah.
Which honestly, it's definitely great that we don't have to deal with like another laser battle for this finale. And to see that some old heads need to be like cooled off and be shown a change in retrospective. The new modern ways of like trying to change up society and whatnot, or in this case, trying to fix something that was broken that you might not have seen blinded by their own pragmatism and ego.
Yeah.
First World proves to be quite an antagonist for like Starlight, and then eventually Twilight to basically show up to him, and then finally show him in the prize as like, you finally get to live again in Equestria. Your flaw led you to basically miss out on the rest of like your society. But now, hopefully, now that you're in the new timeline, let's just say, I hope you get accommodated, and hopefully everyone else that you basically changed and messed up. Example, Rockhoof. Like his episode is also an honorable mention. A Rockhoof in a hard place. Jeez.
All right. With that said, need to be moved. All right. Second, are you ready? See, you got muted.
He's muted.
The second opinion is not in the building, but I did just get a notification saying 6 o'clock is currently online on Bubble
sorry.
Battle.
Sorry, I
Six
forgot I muted my mic.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I get to be the big finale, do I? All right.
Yeah!
Okay. I said Twilight's Kingdom handled the S-tier material by breaking it up into equal blocks to give all of them an equal share. My number 1 episode doesn't do that. And to be honest, there are points where Twilight's Kingdom straight up wins over it that way. Like number 1 tries to pull a relationship with a character we've never met before as this deep, crucial point to the story, which is more awkward than how every plot point in Twilight's Kingdom makes sure it's drawing from the well-established when it can't do any more on its own. Number 1 has a fantastic climax too, but it's stuffed by the bad guys and paid off by something that at least works in part because the episode says it does. And there are a couple other awkward points, too, where the more complex juggling act gets a little clumsy. But there's something Twilight's Kingdom doesn't have that this one does. The most sympathetic, stress-inducing, I need a real adult portrayal of Twilight in the entire series. Canterlot Wedding.
Let's go!
Everyone put it in their list.
Let's
Take the top.
Yeah, that is winning our power rankings by a country mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually when fans say that they want a cartoon episode that challenges them to think like an adult, they mean a 9th grade literature student. They mean an edgelord. They mean a big sister. This episode, this one challenges you to think like an adult, while also from the standpoint that it's your first time ever having to do so, because, yeah, Twilight facing a loved one about to possibly make the wrong decision that could affect the rest of their life, that's something everyone wishes they never have to go through, and so many people do anyway. And you can't help but be with her every step of the way. How her friends want this to go smoothly for her as much as anyone, and honestly don't see the problems Twilight does with this bride, how she's honestly trying and doesn't see someone she can trust with her brother when she looks at this cadence, how she can't get Shining Armor on his own long enough to say, and the situation is deeply delicate from every other angle. This episode tightens that noose of, you're in the deep side of the pond now, kid, you have to choose so well. And in a great bit of nuanced writing, she sort of makes the wrong choice and the right one. She makes her move in an overly bold and even a childish way that puts her in a losing situation, but everything she noticed still turned out to be exactly the types of behavior that you shouldn't give a pass. And by trusting herself to be ready to make that call, yeah, she protected her brother and a lot of other people from something they probably couldn't have come back from. So, yeah, honestly, you can keep your episodes with the big crowning the princess moments. As far as I'm concerned, this is where Twilight grew up.
Heck yeah. Canterlot Wedding's gonna win.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, and even the moments where everybody like turns their back on Twilight, where like some people want them to be lambasted or made to apologize more or something. I mean, normally I'm all crabapple and I'm like, you always want to be bathed in sweetness to you. This time I'm just like, no, you're asking for worse writing. And I promise this is the last thing, but yeah, that moment of the end where Celestia says to Twilight how well she did and lets her know that she was right. The episode, she doesn't need to say what we're all thinking at that moment, and the episode doesn't. The episode knows that she doesn't. The point is clear. That is Celestia bowing to Twilight.
Yeah.
All right, and then also, for this reminded me of something else. I forgot this earlier. Carlos, I meant to say thank you for reminding me about the Love Is in Bloom remix because I forgot. I remember, like, I never forgot. It's in my head, but like I forgot, like, oh yeah, that's the actual remix, not the actual very short bit of it.
Yes.
Oh,
Brainwaves.
yeah. Speaking of that, my actual favorite outro in the show.
Oh yeah.
Love Is in Bloom.
Oh my
That's a-
god.
Oh, and you all are right with all the
Great song.
character quirkiness and the great praise you heaped on everything else too.
Yeah.
I mean,
With that said, I guess we need to be heading out because it is 1 a.m. and I need to get up at 6 a.m.
I need to get up. Yeah, same.
Sorry, man. I appreciate your sacrifice. I got to be up at 5 to take Daylover to work, and then at 8:30 to go to my own class.
Oh dear, we need to go. We need to go to bed.
yeah, we got news. We got
All right.
news now.
So to everyone out there, we're tired. Bye.
We're tired.
We're tired. We're tired, but happy 15th anniversary for My Little Pony. Friendship is magic.
Yeah.
15th anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Hope your day goes perfectly.
Anniversary to you tonight.
And please, Google Meet, don't mess up this audio this time. Pretty please.
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 Stop.
Please.
Well, until next time, see y'all.
Say y'all.
Take care.
See ya.
Wolfgang out.